Yo, that guy. How the hell are you? What's up, Illidan? Ensunetti. I'm going to say your name right one time, I promise. Good to see you guys. Hope you had a real good weekend. I had a really good weekend. Happy Mola Monday. Ginu Frank, good to see you. Good to see you. Streamer, I chose Wulf for the Selector. Did I cook or sell? Wulf is a very, very strong unit. There's nothing wrong with picking up Wulf. She'll serve you well in Guild Wars, in RTA, and in Arena. My light went out there. I'm back! My day's going good, Infinite Dream. Thank you for asking. Hey, Silent Sasha, welcome to the stream, buddy. Happy Mola Monday. Missed me. Did I have a good time at the wedding? Yes. It was a blast. Did not get into any fights. First time in forever. I'll try harder next time, I promise. Oh, so much crap all over the place. I need to clean up in here. It is a messy. Hello, Anime Flicks. Okay, let's see what the Heart of Orbis has for us today. Remember, guys, today is the last Monday of the month, so lock it in. If you do not lock in your Heart of Orbis, if you do not use it, you're going to lose it on the first. Let's go get us a triple S weapon. Come on. Oh, stupid friggin' jump scare boxes. No, I don't want your crappy box. Give me something good. Good. Yee. It happened. We got something I wanted more than the freaking Leafs. Oh my God. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? Hell yeah. Let's get rid of this. And let us store this. Man, I can only think of one or two things that I would take over a bottle at this point in the game. That is fantastic. Let's go ahead and peek, though. See what else is in here. Yeah, we don't care about that. This is where it gives me something insane and I really have to make a decision. There were 50 Leafs. All right. So remember, guys, you don't get all this stuff. You got to pick. So lock it in, receive it, and be done. And then on the 1st, you'll get 400 new taints and we can start over again for November. What you should get, that's a tough call, but my advice to you is probably, in my opinion, in order of what's most important, anything in the triple S tier other than the ML5 ticket, right? The gear here is beyond the pale. The gear is insane. So you get any triple S gear, you're probably locking that in, and you're showing screenshots to your guild, and probably getting kicked out of the guild for pissing off all your guild members. If you do not have any ML5s, or you're relatively new and you want to pick one of these up, that's good. But remember, only about half of the ML5s are even usable, and the other half, only about half of those are even good. So be real careful with this one. You could pick up a dud, you could pick up a dupe. All this stuff is good. These, I think, trump all other choices. Then we get down to the double S tier. This is a trap. Do not get this. Trust me, you're not going to get what you want out of this. This is like a 90% chance to be a 5-star, and then we have the same issues that I mentioned above. And the 4 stars, after about 8 to 10 months of gameplay, you should have most, if not all, of the 4 stars. So just pass on this. The bottle and the slate are insane value in that order. I think you got your triple S gear as your S tier. You got your bottle as your A tier, and right beside it is the slate in the A tier. Then you've got all of this gear. This gear is really good. Even if it rolls double 4s into low stats and spreads out, it's still going to end up really good, and it's got the potential to be amazing. So I think these are If this is S tier gear and the bottle and the slate are A tier, then I'm going to slap the double S gear here. This double S tier. I'm going to slap this in the B tier for things you select. And then we get into the C tier. The C tier, there is literally nothing in the S tier that I think is worth getting in the C tier. I think you immediately drop down here and you've got the Leafs, 50 Leafs, and the 20 Mola. That's your C tier. That's what you get. The Leafs and the Mola. And then there's the D tier. The D tier is, well, I didn't get anything else that was mentioned, so I'll pick up any of the gear that's here or the 20 Leafs. Everybody gets the 20 Leafs. That's your D tier. Nothing else is worth picking up. Now, some people are about, I don't know, I don't have a lot of units. This could be great for me. Yeah, if you're brand spanking new, you don't have a lot of units, go for it. But if you're brand spanking new, you probably don't have access to the S tier yet. If you're brand spanking new, you're probably chilling down here. I guess you could theoretically have access to it, but the rates are so low. So anyway, that's my recommendations for what you should pick up from Heart of Orbis. Make sure you lock this in today or tomorrow or the day after, but do it before November 1st, because on November 1st, this will automatically empty. November 1st, it will look like this, and if you didn't select something, it's gone. And that's it. Hopefully that helps you guys out. If you have any questions, drop it in the comment section. I hope you guys are lucky too. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Unexpected tier list video. God, I love me some tier list videos. God, I hate tier list videos. All right, guys. Dude, Baka, did you see it? I got a bottle. I got a bottle of knowledge. We happy. We happy. I know. They do exist. It's my very first double S, and it was the best double S. Yes, the first one I've ever seen, like, other than other people's screenshots. Fantastic. Gold transmits for more Gamba? That's wild, Shio. It's wild. Do I spend Skystones for Astrium? You're talking about this Epic Pass. There was a time when Epic Passes were such good value. And that time is not right now. Right now, the Epic Passes seem to be about scamming players out of their bookmarks. So be very careful about this. This is, first of all, the Burning Energy Pass. Yes, the Skystone to Leaf value is high as long as you are just looking at the Skystones as a means to get stamina, right? If you're going to burn Skystones for stamina anyway, then sure, the Leafs are worth it. But you can use Skystones for other things, like buying other Epic Passes, like buying background packs, like buying special skins when they show up in skin-based Epic Passes, like refreshing the secret shop to go for mystic metals. There are all kinds of things, and Smilegate realizes we're using Skystones for these things instead of cash, so they're trying to get rid of our Skystones so that we're stuck with using cash. Don't hate the game. Okay, hate the game, but don't hate Smilegate for making a good financial decision. Just be aware, you gotta be careful with your stuff. So you'll notice I did not buy the Leafs, even though I really could have used them. I really could use the farming. My Skystones are low, and I need to use those to refresh the secret shop to get the ocean of limited units that are heading our way. As for the Astrium Pass, we're in a similar situation, right? They want 1,900 Skystones. It's an unprecedented amount of Skystones to pick up enough Astrium to do the Astroforge one time with no guarantee that it's going to roll good. That's a very, very expensive amount of Skystones to get a custom-made piece of gear and hope it doesn't boom. Hope it doesn't roll terrible. I would recommend instead using these 1,900 Sky... let's be fair. Normally this is 900, right? Normally it's 900, and you get all this stuff that's in the Epic Pass, and then it's another 1,000 to get the special. They just kind of bundled it all together, but this isn't a normal Epic Pass. There's no Mola in here. There's a lot of stuff in this Epic that are in normal Epic Passes that are missing from this one. Look at, can we still see this? Look at what's in a normal Epic Pass. There's Reforge mats. There's oh shit, this one sucked too. They used to have skin tickets in them. They used to have Mola in them. they've just gotten bad recently. So yeah, I would advise you to not pick this up unless this piece of gear that you can craft is giga important. It kind of comes down to, if you're relatively new at the game, this has much higher value for you than if you're late at the game. But if you're relatively new at the game, you probably are needing more things that come out. If you're relatively new in the game, you probably don't have Afternoon Soak Flame. You probably don't have Young Senya. You're probably going to feel the need to pull on those banners. You're not going to be able to say, I already got it, I can skip and save my stuff for Race Car Sigrid or Librarian Biblis. You know, you kind of are in a much better place. So it's doubly worse for you because you're going to need these Sky Stones. So yeah, I would recommend against it, just because though it's a perfect piece of gear, it can roll badly, and it probably will. And then you got to reset it, and that's expensive. This doesn't even come with the damn reset stones to reset the gear that just rolled badly. I don't know. I think Smilegate has somewhat lost the plot on their epic passes. Their epic passes used to be amongst the highest value best deals in the game, and now it doesn't feel so good. So I think most people are taking a pass on these. Whether or not you take a pass on it, if the leaves and farming is important to you, it's a good deal for the stamina. If you don't have a ton of gear and you need another customizable Astroforge piece to finish building the unit that you can't play otherwise, then maybe this is a good deal for you. But all things being equal, my advice is, if you're on the fence and you're just not sure, I would pass on it. Because usually when things in this game that are necessary hit, you go, damn, I gotta have that. It's obvious. There's no, I gotta ask 20 different people what their opinion is on it. Almost always, when you have to ask a bunch of different people what their opinion is on it, the answer is it's totally skippable. So I would avoid this. And let me know what you guys are going to do. Let me know if you agree, if you had any luck. I just know that a lot of people built their Astroforge piece and it came out kind of mediocre, and I think those people would wish they'd spent this in somewhere else in the game that would have had better benefit. And I guess while we're talking about it, we can go ahead and talk about the Expedition Epic Pass. The Expedition Pass in here, especially for newer players, is very high value. You get a lot, you get oops, I just pushed a button. You get 3 extra gold transmit stones up here, which, you know, can let you buy imprints or do summons. You get lots of extra reforged mats. You get blue boxes, which most new players are sleeping on their blue boxes. Blue boxes are a source of insane gear. Make sure you're using your blue boxes, and it's going to give you the manifestation stones to plus 90 things that you make with your reforged boxes. These are the materia that you use to upgrade the gear that you get from these. And you're going to get Mola. You need some Mola. I hear some of you might need some Mola. And a pile of reforged mats. And some charms. Nobody needs charms, right? It's actually for a 1,500 Sky Stones. It's a pretty sizable amount of loot. Again, if you're really low on Sky Stones, I would not recommend going and buying Sky Stones just to forge that epic pass. That labyrinth or that expedition pass happens every single month. And I used to buy it religiously. The only reason I'm not buying it right now is everything you saw in there, I got plenty of. I got tons of Mola. My reforged mats are good. I'm actually doing okay on charms, so I can afford to skip it this time around because I've got, you know, my larders are full and my shelves are stocked. But if you're low on any of these things, if you're struggling to level up a unit because you're out of Mola, you don't have enough gold transmits to imprint the new ML5 that you got from the boss selector, any that kind of stuff, that's a pretty decent expenditure of 1,500. I'll tell you what, that is a way better use of 1,500 Sky Stones than this. Oops. Than this. Way better use than this. And I guess the last battle pass is the most hotly contested one. The one that people always get their knickers in a twist over is, should they buy this battle pass? And the reason people get very upset about this one is this is a cash one. It's a cash battle pass. And it's the very first cash battle pass Epic 7 has ever run. And because people saw that what everywhere else has cost Skystones, Expedition costs Skystones, Epic Pass costs Sky, but because this one costs cash, people lost their ever-loving shit out of it. And I'm going to white knight up a little bit here, guys. The only reason people are upset about this is because it is here and it is not here. If it was here, if it was a pack, ask yourself that. Look at everything that you can get from this battle pass. Oops. And add it all up. It's everything you see here. Everything from one, it's all 38 items a second time. You get 2 of these necklaces. You get 2 batches of these 100 dark fragments. You get 2 of these boots. You get 2 of these charms. Everything that's in here you will get twice. You will not get the slate and you will not get the frame twice, of course, because these do not have a rank number above them. But anything that's got a rank number above it, you will get a second time once you achieve it. Once you collect these boots, 2 boots will drop. So look at everything that's in here. Write it all down. Take a picture. I don't give a F. Look at it and then say, if this was in the shop for 30 bucks, would I buy that pack? And if the answer is yes, get it. All day long, get it. But if all of these charms and all of this gear is not worth 30 bucks to you, then don't get it. It's really as simple as that. Don't look at it as a battle pass. Look at it as a pack in the shop, because that's all it is. And then you got to decide the value of it. Newer players will get a lot more value out of this gear. It's destruction gear. It's good stats across the board. It's good gear. It's a lot of charms to level the gear up. It's a lot of reforge mats to be able to upgrade other gear. It's not a bad spend of 30 bucks. The further you get into the game, the less big of a deal it's going to be to you. But every time we see gear packs in the shop, people lose their minds and talk about how it's selling advantage. But this one, man, everyone just thumbs their nose at this one. It's legitimately better than any of the gear packs in the shop. If you think about it, 6 pieces of really nice gear and a ton of charms. I think it's a fantastic value for newer and mid-game players. But you got to decide if it's worth 30 bucks to you. Again, the gear can roll badly. It is what it is. All right. That's my review of those packs, guys. Let me know what you guys think. If I was a spender, I'd rather spend on that than most of the packs. I don't disagree. If I were a new player and I was given a $100 a month budget, that would be part of that budget. But once you're past the 6-7 month mark, most of the arena gear is like, yeah, okay. If it rolls great, maybe I'll use it in somewhere. But you know, once you get past like the 2-year mark, you probably don't give a rat's ass about gear you get from arena anymore, unless it just randomly rolls insane. What's 30 bucks in Skystones again? I don't know. 1,000 Skystones, 30 bucks for 1,000. The arena battle pass is there the entire season. When the season rotates, the gear changes out. It'll tell you in there somewhere. January 4th is when the season ends. That battle pass will go away on the 4th. $69 days left to buy the pass. $30 every couple of months is not that bad. And probably by like the 4th or 5th time you've bought it, you've progressed to the point where you don't really care about it anymore and you stop buying it. Again, it just depends on what you want to spend your money on and whether or not you want to spend money on it. What's this, Bellcock? Rampaging Death Dealer Ray. Oh, Oh, placing a ranger in the front row. Sigrid is a ranger confirmed. You know what? You know what? You're probably right. You are probably right. I get it. I get it. Good catch, man. Yeah, it's practically confirmed, right? Practically confirmed. Good eye, Belcock. Good eye. Another guiding light user? Nah, she'll just have it built into her kit. That's what all rangers get now, right? They come with guiding light. What if it's Yulha? What if Sexy North Yulha? Nah, she's too far away. She's not until November. Or late November. You hate what Hall of Trials has become? Nobody liked it before. Now even less people like it. Tristen, not trying to derail the convo, but debating whether to get Empyrean Ilona from the coin shop. I do have most of the other Moonlight 5 knights. I know she's good, but how necessary is she? Do you want to play RTA? Do you only care about RTA just to get a master's frame and you're only going to play it like 1 week out of the season and then you're never touching it again? Her value just drops considerably if that's the case, but if you have any designs to do RTA in the future, have fun with it in the future, I think she's the closest thing to a must-have unit we've got in this game. I love chat. She's a great unit in Guild Wars. Pick the damn unit. She is the biggest must-pull unit ever. It's like, okay, you know what? You know what? My chat's just gonna string me up by my toenails if I don't tell you to get that unit. Go get yourself an Empyrean Ilona. She's so good, I got 3 of her. I couldn't even do arena without her. That is wild. I'm over here doing arena without her. But she is very, very good. And she's future-proof, right? That's the biggest thing about her. She's got one of those kits that fights a mechanic, so she's going to just always be good. It's very, very hard to conceive of a future where Empyrean Ilonov just isn't good. I couldn't do arena without Scaly. I don't think people can do arena because of Scaly, but that's a whole other discussion. Thank God for quick battle. Damn, Shio. You okay, man? You need a Snickers bar? Show me on the Setsuka doll where the bad lady of the scales hurt you. Now, I don't disagree, but wow. Holiday candy tier list. That'd be a fun tier list. Go build one for me, Joe, or go build one for me, Joseph. We'll do it. Ah, stupid friggin'. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. Except in arena, you have to be insane and you actually get different results. I genuinely missed the Harsetti meta. It was less annoying. Wow. If you had told me that those words were going to come out of my mouth anytime in the future, I'd have called you a liar. But here we are. When am I going to use best unit Wild and Gar? I usually use it in RTA on the last day. All right. Not bad. You guys get your votes in? Man, was this thing complicated or what? I did this on my phone and I had my contacts out and I couldn't see anything. So I just went down the list and clicked one side and submitted it. Hopefully, it was like a kid, like when they were told you only have a few minutes left to answer the test. I'm like, C, submit. Oh dear, it's the farming event, guys. The farming event for petals. Gotta go spend some stamina. Cesian tanked Epic 7's viewership. Yeah, it's expected. It'll be like that for a bit. Everybody's wanting to play the new shiny toy, and I don't blame them. Cesian is beautiful. I hope they're able to keep it going, right? As long as Smilegate doesn't Smilegate up the joint, it should be great. I'm being a little harsh, but yeah. Community is a fickle beast, and as long as Smilegate stays open with what their plans are and keeps the content flowing, I think that game's got legs and it's going to do well. Oh. Did we get gear yet? No, we're still far away from the gear. Oh, by the way, guys, don't do this. Don't do this. And unless you started, you got 69 days to go through 38 ranks. It does not take long. It takes you like 4 or 5 weeks. You only do this if you're like sitting here and it's the last day of RTA and you want to just go ahead and pick up the next piece of gear that you're otherwise going to miss, right? Unless this says like 0 days, 10 hours left. Don't ever spend on ranks in this. This is a catch-up mechanic for people who maybe joined the game right after Christmas and they want to snag this gear, and they're swimming in Skystones because they're clearing story mode. You remember when you first started this game and Skystones like flowed like water? Those were good times. Hey, welcome to the Wolf Pack, buddy. Thanks for the follow. Lucky summons! Get the hell off my screen, Glenn. What the hell are you doing here? I said lucky. Surely I got something else we can summon with, right? Runes. All these chests have a summon in it somewhere. I don't have anything. Sorry, guys. Aren't we due for another episode story? Yeah, I believe one will be coming out here probably in December. I think they're stalling a little bit because they're trying to get all their ducks in a row. One of the goals that they talked about on the big the big developer live stream is that they want to try to sync banners with what's going on in the story, right? So they want to have it so right now Afternoon Soak lands on the banner. They would like it so that her banner would be while something about her's going on in the story. I mean, not reruns, of course, but you understand what I'm saying, right? Like when Race Car Cigarette comes up, they would like the Race Car Cigarette story to have dropped. So when Chapter 5 drops, and that's why people are like, oh, no, surely Eye Patch Surin's going to be next. You know, it's like they're trying to like get it all out of the way and done so that they can say, here is the new unit. And that launches this story, and that whoever is currently on banner, as far as new banners go, at least, it's going to coincide with the story to have a little bit better immersion. So, yeah, I think that's why things are getting delayed right now, is they're trying to get all of the stuff they need to get out of the way, so that they can kind of start pulling it back into having the summons tie in with the immersion of the story. Race car cigarette is limited or new moonlight. She will be a limited RGB unit. She'll either be fire or earth. We don't know which. So please ignore my spelling. I just wanted to know when the World of Reason season ends. Have a nice day. Sure. Let's see here. Doobie-doobie-doo. Big ass calendar. All right. Arena season started August 30th was the first day of RTA. And arena seasons are typically 12 weeks long. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. November 22nd should be the last day of RTA. Now, every once in a while, they extend it to a 13-week season. Usually that's for reasons. The first time they extended it was to allow for the Overlord collab units to be used in RTA season proper. The second time they extended it to make sure that the new rules, the new warfare rules, didn't F with the end of World Cup. Other than that, every arena season we've ever has been 12 weeks. But theoretically, it could go to 13 weeks, which would be the 29th. But you can bank on it being most likely the 22nd, with the 29th as an alternate date if it gets pushed back. Now, nothing's been announced yet. Nothing's official, but that has been the pattern for every single RTA season ever in the history of forever. So hopefully that helps out. You, at very, very, very least, you got another 4 weeks to get your RTA crap together. It will also eventually post it in here. Right here it says current fall season. Eventually it'll say current fall season. Season ends 25 days, 12 hours, and 13 minutes. There'll be a countdown timer in here for you eventually. Oh man, I decayed right down, didn't I? 4 days ago. Oof. I took a big hit, guys. Watch that decay. 3 days. 3 days from the timer starts from the instant you take your first fight. New Balance patch soon. Praying prophetic candlestick nerf. Yeah. No, candle is balanced. Candle's easy to fix, guys. You want to know how you fix candlestick? Effect only applies in PvE. Just add that phrasing to it. Effect only applies in PvE. And they can do it because they've done it before. Where's... Oh, you know what? Rasa's skill. Rasa's skills are a good one to look at. It fails more than it works anyway. I don't know about that. Depends which side of the screen your enemy is on. Anyway, they just need to have language in there where it doesn't work if you're hit by healers or hit by heroes. Right, it says right in here. Moment the caster is attacked, and then you put beside it, or attacked by non-heroes. However they want to word it, right? Just to basically say it's got to be monsters or PvE things that hit that reduce it. It'd be an easy fix. It would require a recall, which would mean all of us would be getting billions of artifact charms. And that's the biggest problem, is they know people like me are going to blow the lid off of the artifact system, where if they announce a nerf is coming, I mean, I've already started stockpiling prophetic candlesticks in anticipations of it, right? If you haven't already, start stockpiling artifacts. Don't leave them in here. You don't want to leave them in here. It won't count if they're in here. They have to be on your account before it's announced. So start stockpiling prophetic candlesticks. Because if they announce it then any artifact that's currently on your account will be subject to the recall, and you'll be able to do the trick that I will show you how to do to get hundreds, if not thousands, of artifact charms. This is the reason almost every artifact on my account is plus 30 is because of this trick. So, but they have to do a recall. We did it with Butterfly Mandolin last time. If you're desperate to know what I'm talking about, just search Tristen Wulf Butterfly Mandolin on YouTube. I'm sure there's a video showing how to do it. But that's only if they nerf it, and I'm not so sure that they will. This is what they wanted. They wanted a slower meta. But right now it's just so god-awful slow that people aren't playing it anymore. And I think Smoggate's is trying to weigh, it's like, are people not playing RTA right now because this meta is so terrible? Or are they not playing RTA right now because we just dropped Chaos Zero Nightmare and everybody's over having fun on our new game? And that's why I don't think they'll do anything so rash as to nerf an artifact yet. I think it'll take a while. They'll have to wait and see, you know, does this stick around, or is it kind of just a gimmick that's going on? People really aren't going to lean on it. I saw what you pulled on the Heart of Orbis, and I noticed I'd used my luck too, so I couldn't spam that button. I still couldn't get anything. Sorry, Gagus, I had to get my luck somewhere. Yours was sacrifice. I haven't experienced myself yet, but I've seen on too many streams, and to be honest, it's a terrible experience. I just don't like seeing matches that last 50, 60 rounds. That's not fun or compelling content to watch or play. Ain't nobody got time for that. Timed out today. For the person who's asking what is the problem with Prophetic Candlestick, this, and I'll admit it, I'm one of the villains, right? You can't beat them, join them. It's people doing this kind of BS, right? Running this unit on Prophetic Candlestick, and then she just sits there and spams her stuff over and over and over. God forbid you run her with Maid Chloe and or Wretched Rose. God forbid they're on Candlestick too. Good luck playing the game. They're not trapped in there with you. You're trapped in there with them. In a dark room lit only by a candlestick. I refuse to touch RTA because of the meta. I mean, I'll touch it. I just refuse to play the meta. I just cleave everything. I don't think E7 and CZN will share much of the same audience. They are very different flavors, Moon, and I think you're not far off. I think they will share a lot of the same audience, but they aren't going to... People who are diehard for one and people who are diehard for the other, they'll cross-pollinate, but it's not like one's going to... You know, it's not like, oh, which one's going to be my main? Which, you know, it's like one's going to speak to you as a main game, and the other one's going to be the one that you play on the side. I started playing like 3 days ago, and my YouTube videos have been helping you a lot. Oh, I'm glad to hear, Prim. Thank you so much for the kind words. Just bring right? Hasn't oh god, this new layout, I do not like it. Has this girl's stocks not shot through the roof? I really need to build her over again, make her better. Briar kind of sucks. Shh. He didn't mean that, Briar. All right, I haven't done much, if any, of this story yet, guys. You guys want to hold my hand here? I got to the Oblivion Trap. So I know the Oblivion Trap, we need to match up what things don't match. Like, for example... If you read First Memory, it talks about today she visited Zahak's grave, but then you read the gravestone. Oops. I fucking killed it. Hang on, let me just reset it. Yes, be angry. I know. You can check statues and destroy objects that match them. That up here. How do I read the gravestone? Where the hell's Baka when I need him? I know, but I want to know how to figure it out. I was told, look at the names of the grave. I'm looking at the name. Oh, it says Zio's grave. It's right in front of me. Oh, damn it. Okay. Yeah, so today I visited Zahak's grave, but it says Zio's grave. So this one we smash. Table with a teacup, the memory says. I stood before his gravestone, empty table. But how can it be an empty table if it's a table with a teacup? Smash. Pile of scrolls. Next to it lay a pile of scrolls. We're good on that one. Dirty pile of clothes. What's this say? Also saw a pile of clean clothes. Lies. Smash. Incense. This is incense, and my fifth memory says I lit incense, so we're good and we're moving on. It really is as stupidly simple as all of that. Smash Setsuka on the table. Holy crap, Cranked. I mean, you're not wrong, but calm down. She'd love it too. Absolutely scrumptious. I swear I just read that's why it'll bore deep into your most vulnerable parts. Points. Most vulnerable points. I skipped that too fast. She said, taste. You want to chase the juices within. Man, the writers of this story are unhinged. Okay, Setsuka's joined my party. There's Hassel. Oh, man. That spider just beat the crap out of his soul. Alright, let me look around, make sure there's no chests left to open. There's a chest up here. What do you mean I can't get it yet? Damn it. I got that chest. Okay, move on. Poor Sharoon. Nobody, not a single person here wouldn't trade positions with her in that situation. Do the purple missing for that chest? What? What are you talking about? Oh, I gotta talk to Setsuka to get that chest. Get advice from Setsuka. Thank you. Okay, so to get that chest, we need a little advice from Setsuka. They're trembling. Okay, gotta light the lanterns. Go get some will-o-wisps, okay. Oh! Okay, that wisp is a dick. Let's ask this one. Alright. We got one's gonna help us. There we go. All the lanterns have been lit. Now I can go get me a chest. Onto the spider cave. Chest now open, like Seska enjoys it. Thanks for the advice on the kibitzing. I'm going to chop this apart and make a quick walkthrough video, so we get stuck anywhere, don't be afraid to lend some advice. Spider sentry. Hi, I'm new. Casual on global, looking for a casual guild, mainly for Tamarin A, but also interested in Guild Wars. My account's progressing more. Extra life, welcome to Epic 7. RIP all of your free time. Go to www.discordwulf.com, Discord, WULF.com. It'll take you to my Discord server. Once you get to my Discord server, in the select the Epic 7 role, once you go through all of the Prima Nocta agreements saying you're not going to spam or be a racist a-hole or anything like that, and you get in, once you select your Epic 7 role, there will be a room right here under Epic 7 that will say Guild Recruitment Hall. Go check out the Guild Recruitment Hall and scroll up to the global section. And it's all divided by, like, you know, this is for mid to late game here. Early to late game, this might be good for you. Early to mid game, these are trainer starter guilds. So just all you gotta do is click on the name of these people, shoot them a message, say, hey, I'm interested in joining your guild. Hey, I'm interested in joining your guild. Ask to join a couple, see which ones like you the best, see which ones you like the best. Some of them will say, I'm full. Some of them that look like they're full might actually have just kicked somebody, so it never hurts to ask. And yeah, just fish around. And if you get in there and you don't like them and you want to go to a different guild, you're not going to hurt my feelings. These are all guilds that I've vetted and I trust the people who are recruiting for them. But you know what? Everybody's got to find their own place. It takes all kinds to make a guild. So give that a shot. Hopefully that will get you sorted and situated. Let me get you a link here. There you go. Oh, and Baka 12 is looking too. You can go for one of the Baka family guilds. They're harder to get into, but those are guilds that are directly in my network of guilds. The other ones are just guilds that are friends of the guild, people that I've vetted, people that I've talked to, people who are in my recruiter council that I can send them DMs. So if you have a bad experience, let me know so I can scold them or get rid of them. But these are all people that I've been working with for at least a year, and well, one or two are relatively new, but most of them for at least a year. And I can feel good about referring people to them, and I'm not sending them to a place to just get trolled and dunked on. Pile of scrolls, sacks, spiders, more satchels, sacks. It was a busy floor. Okay, let's see. We fought that guy. Let's go over here. Can I get to this pile of scrolls, or is it going to make me... Oh, it's going to make me deal with the sentry spider. Hey, Amaya, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Wolf Pack. I just want to say thank you for your guides. I started about a month ago, and I would have dropped this game. Oh, man, thank you so much for the kind words, Mick. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It means a lot. Hi, Tristen. Last week, we lost to your guild, and after that, we destroyed YDCB's guild. Nice. Nice. Luca streams E7. Yes, she does. If you guys aren't following Luca, check her out too. She's super, super nice. But she's just starting out. I mean, in spite of her having history with E7, her account is relatively new, so. Can I do anything with this statue? Uh-oh. There's sacks. Yes, I see. There are 3 of them. Yes, we'll destroy the sacks, but I want to look at the statue first. It's just a statue. Okay. Smash. Setska smash. 100% would smash. Ooh, charms. Here. Uh-oh. Sleepy Sentry. She's streaming some One Piece TCG too. Tristen, I've only grind 350-ish more points to Emperor. Oh, damn, Belcock. You're going hard for it, huh? Okay, let me grab the satchel. I'll kill him later. I'm on a sack. I'm on smashing these sacks right now. Smash. Empty. Rude. Okay, so no chests on this floor. It's just the sacks. And they're loaded with stuff, too. Sneak past the spider. Ah. Nah, just playing for the fun / challenge as well. Definitely not trying to grind finish Emperor. Finishing Legend and Emperor is definitely a, what's the word I'm looking for? Commitment. As in you should be committed for being that crazy. But yeah, it's a serial. That's a lot of sacks down there. We gotta save her. She might be in danger. We have to hurry and save her. But the loot. Don't worry, Hassel will be there. Just a minute. Just gotta be a loot goblin. What's the... It's okay. Nobody dies from just 12 spider bites. Hang in there. You'll be fine. Hey, we found a roaming griffin. Yo, Neil! Thank you so much for the sub, buddy. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to light the incense. Smoke them out. Put them all to sleep. Sneak in. Almost there. Smash sack. Oh, shit. Maybe we shouldn't have smashed, huh? $16 sacreds left. 16 sacreds left. I should still get Leonardo. Don't touch the path that's coming up, the hero's path. Are you going to go for either of the souls, Tanoko man? I am. You know how much I love me some April, but I'm really leaning towards just hard skipping the souls for him. I'm not sure she needs them, and I'm not sure I'll use Donnie enough that he needs them. Hurry up and be dead so I can do this again right. Just the shards? Yeah. I might even only get the first shard, right? I might do it on the cheap and skip the bottom ones just to, you know. Hold on here. What the hell were you? Oh, me randomly kicking the screen. How's my Monday going? It's pretty good. I'm feeding Sharoon and Setska to a spider over and over again. Before I forget, let's go up here and smash this last sack. Oh, wait, I need to save a soul. It's funny. It won't let you go away. Okay, you have to kill the ads. Oh, so I can't do this on auto, huh? No auto. Okay, so this fight you have to not auto. Okay. And we kill the ads. The ads are what heal us. So if I smack here. Oh, she did heal us. Okay. We already lost a soul, though. Venom's doing its work. Pop. What kind of Setsuka's not on riposte set? Okay, I assume I need to do this while Sharoon is still alive so that the Venoms can kill this thing while Setsuka is healing the team. Am I right? Am I right on that? I think I'm right on that, so I'm going to try it. Okay, so we go fight the Spooters. And Sharoon takes a hit. Ads are here. Let's kill this egg, and that will heal up everybody. And that way she doesn't die. Then we'll get our poisons off. Hit. That'll heal me up. We'll blind everybody. You didn't get the herb to full heal Sharoon too. Is there something I should be collecting? What herb are we talking about? I did the incense thing. Up when I was roaming where the griffin was. Oh, recovery herb. Okay, so we're going to run up here. Hostel will be fine. She's getting digested in that chest. Or digested in that sack. That's fine. We get these recovery herbs. Now we're all healed up. And now we fight the Spooter, right? Now we got it. Okay, so now that we're fully healed, we have to turn it off auto because this is not a manual or auto-friendly fight. We'll blind everything up here. And popping those egg sacs is what heals everybody. We'll get Venoms loaded up here. There we go. Taking some damage. You're in trouble, so let's pop an egg sac. That will heal me up. And we'll hit here just to do some damage. Hindsight being 20/20, we want to hit with Sharoon to put the Venoms up, and we'll have Setsuka be the one that pops the egg sacs. So you... Soul burn. There's a Venom. Ow. Hit. Leave her alone. Battle spider guy. Okay, we'll hit an egg sac. That'll heal us up. Big heals. Healed all the way up. Ow. Ow. Now she's doing her thing. Smack. Dead Spooter. Not so bad if you don't try to auto it. Okay, I wonder what's in this sack. Let's go save Hassel. All right. Fine, fine. There we go. Alrighty. Okay, we gotta go after Nightmare Setska, or Nightmare Shroon. But before we go after Nightmare Shroon, let's swing by the last sack and smash it. Smash. Hey, how did I know it was gonna be a Mola? Ooh, and gold transmit stones. Sexy. Okay, off we go. Forest Trail of Illusions. Trail splits. For now, we'll head west. Or not. Okay, I guess we're heading north. Oh no, it's one of these. Hates it. Well, at least we get the... At least we get the chests here, right? One. Ooh, a Mola. Can you walk us? Can't quite get there yet. Will there be an update notice for the next Galaxy Shop rotation, etc.? I'm guessing. Yeah, they always do an update every Tuesday or Wednesday morning. There's an update. Okay, it's got to have to do with the colors of these flares, right? What's Theranad Soldier guy say? Yeah, the next Galaxy rotation's already known. It's a shitty rerun. Nobody on there that you would want to go for. Okay, smoosh that guy. Hurry out of here. So if I'm right... Oh, there's no flares over here. And that was a fake one. Go for this one. Hallucinating Yunryung. Man, there was a guy who used to stream E7, had the thickest West Virginia accent you ever did here. He kept calling her Young. Oh, every time I see her, I think, it's Young. What the hell happened on the E7 news on Stove? What are you talking about? Got a link, Shio? It sounds like TK Gallant. I'll never forget him like telling people it was a sin to request catalysts. TK Gallant was the best, man. Was it Shotgun Shogun? No. He lives really near me. He's one of the few E7 people I've like met in person and had dinner with. Okay, available chest here. Let's grab it. I assume this one's fake since it's by a chest. What a surprise. All right, guys, what's the drama? What's happening on E7? This is just the gear packs, but the language is effort up. We're talking about, you know, speed can be 2 to 5, crit, you know, attack can be 4 to 8. This is just all about the gear packs, but it's written in Hindi, maybe? I don't quite recognize that language. Is it Arabic? It doesn't look Arabic, but I'm not an expert. It's Thai? I'll message him though. Hang on here. Okay, I'll let him know. Let's go through this hole. Yeah, they just copied the wrong pages, all guys. Okay, where are we going? We can go over there, or over there, or... Wait a minute. I've already been here. There's an open chest. Fake one. Nice hat, thank you. I like my hat. Okay, any chests over here? I've been here before. Wait, there's a chest down here, so I'm assuming this one's fake. It's pretty easy to guess, right? If there's a chest by it, the portal's fake. Oh my god, I'm all the way back to the start. Okay. Let's go this way. And let's go... this way. Let's go. Let's see. This way. Then let's go. There's a chest by it, so I bet you that one's fake. We gotta go past this fighter guy. I'm down to 9 pulls to guarantee an ML5, but all my resources are dry. Maybe I'll simply wait and take whoever comes next. That's what you should do, Manamaniac. Next is there's a rerun banner next, totally skippable. After that is Sexy Nurse Yulha, and though we don't know her kit yet, there hasn't been a new ML5 released in a long time that wasn't like meta warping, and Yulha is kind of a fan favorite, so I suspect she will be good. Grab this chest. I'm not even gonna click on this just because I know it's fake, right? Oh heck, there's 2 options over here, and neither of them are by a chest. Okay, is there a trick to know which is which, or is it trial and error, guys? It's trial and error? Okay. Oh, well. Then I know that one's fake. I outplayed myself. I don't know. The prevailing thought is she's going to be a soul weaver because she's a nurse, but then this stupid thief artifact came out, so now everybody and their brother thinks that she's going to be a thief, which I think is Smilegate messing with you. Run away, Nightmare Me. Okay. I think that is all of the chests on this level. Oh, nope, there's one over here. And if it's got a chest by it, it's got to be fake. Let's go and visit Nightmare Me. You think she looks like a ranger? Oh shit, she brought her friends too. Hello, Tristen. Who is boss of the next area? Haven't got there yet. Don't know, Andrew. Also, thanks for making that tournament last week fun. That was a blast. I'm guessing this is another don't press auto fight. They won't let me pass. Okay, so let's try it on manual. Okay, let's think about this for a minute. Let's go ahead and venom everybody up. And let's make them all blind. Ow. Let's Increase attack and immunity. Burn you. And do that. Ow. And we'll burn you. And we'll burn you. And smack. And smack. Good night, everybody. All right. Make sure you turn auto off. Counter Ilanov. What? Counter Ilanov on Rocket Punch Gauntlet. That's kind of crazy. All right. We'll get the last chest. Move through the Cursed Garden portal. Alrighty. There she goes again. Okay, let's be loot goblins. 4 chests in the Cursed Garden. There's one. A tombstone with some plants. There's a chest over here. A chest down here. Oops, I got caught. Drenched in desire. A lot of reading. Okay, get this chest here. Okay, where is chest number 4? Oh, here it is. What the F? Where's mine? Wow, nice. Here I am all happy that I just got a freaking bottle of knowledge. Investigate the altar by the pond. That was, I guess this is the altar by the pond. Let's go investigate it. Investigating. We're investigating. Investigating means pointing stick at it. Pentagram lanterns lit. Oh shit. Okay, hang on. They lit in a pentagram fashion. I think it was this one. This one. Ah. And this one. Then this one. Then this one. Did I get it? Did I get it right? Oh, damn it, damn it, damn it. Okay. Okay, show me how they lit up again. Okay, it was... Okay, shit. Okay, clock face. It's 6, 11, 3, 2, 9. So 6, 11, 3, 2, 9. Did I get that right? Ta-da! Master of nightmares! You are caught in my pentagram. Don't you point that flower at me. Oh, it was Zio all along. Hey, Durstar. All right. So I got to fight Zio. What do I need to know about Zio? I assume we don't do it on auto. So is there anything we need to know about this to go in the guide? Soul burn. Kill the lamp, soul burn. Lantern heals you after you kill it. Okay, similar to the other one. Lamp gives souls. Okay. Killing the lamp or hitting the lamp gives souls. Okay. Kill the lamp and soul burn to attack Zio. Okay. Into the fight we go, guys. I'm going to turn auto off. If it's not already, because they don't want you to auto anything here. Okay. I'm just going to S3. Get some stuff out there. Generate some souls. Ouch. And why not? Let's blind everybody up. Let's get immunity up. Hit the lantern. And now we can soul burn Zio. Hit the lantern. It's only for the story, Sonny. Soul burn Zio. Hit the lantern for souls. Can't hit Zeo, he's stealth. We gotta kill all these jerks. Just kill this. This will hit everybody. Kill the fronts. Now we can soul burn Zeo. Blammo! The lantern. Ouch, hit the lantern again. Pop. That gives attack break to everybody. Does some damage. Kill you. You. Kill you. Stealth gone. Soul burn Zeo. Hit the lantern. Lather, rinse, repeat. Heals everybody up with the lantern being dead. May as well just S3 here. The big hit. Kick him out the wall. Burn. Smack. I hit him so hard I activated his animation. There we go. Just a sequence of hitting the lantern to heal your team, to soul burn Zeo, to progress the fight. Not hard at all if you do it on auto or manual. Just don't try to full auto it. Help! Do I use all of my leafs in otherworldly hunts or save them? Where you spend your leafs depends on what you need on your account. If you need gear and nothing else, then yes, spend them all in otherworldly hunts. If you don't have enough reforge mats to level the gear that you're farming from hunts, then you need to spend some time in expeditions. If you don't have enough AP to get the catalyst to level up the units that are going to wear the gear, then you need to spend some time in adventure. If you're completely out of gold and you need to get some gold in order to be able to level the gear, then you need to spend some time in adventure and side story. If you need charms, then you're going to need to spend time in adventure and side story. If you don't have the runes to awaken the heroes that are going to wear the gear, then you need to spend time in Spirit Altar. You need to look at your resources and then figure out, what do I need the most? What's road blocking me? Is it I don't have the gear to do the things I want to do, or I don't have the gold to make the gear, or I don't have the units awakened to wear the gear? Figure out where your best return on investment is, and that's where you focus your leafs. That's where you focus your growth. Epic 7 is a game of resource management, and you've got to manage your resources and figure out, what do I need to take the next step to progress forward? Where will I get the most bang for my buck? And sometimes that's farming multiple places instead of just one. That's my recommendation to you as to where you spend your leafs. I'd never recommend dumping it all into one specific thing, because then when you have over-farmed the shit out of that and you've got a whole ass cabinet full of rice and not a single damn can of beans, you're going to be sad when it's time to make some burritos. So I hope that helps. I hope that doesn't make it, even more hard to figure out. But if you jump into Discord, there's gonna be plenty of people there willing to help you out and kind of hold your hand, or get into a guild that is good at training and teaching. They'll help you figure out where to spend. But in the short term, it's okay to spend on otherworldly gear. Is one of the most important things in the game, but maybe hold a little bit back just to be safe. Be sure you don't go into a farming event and you're like, I can't do this thing because I'm out of leaves. Maybe hold a little bit back. No problem, Anon. I wish it was just as easy as like, oh yeah, this is the only place you farm. But it's a very, very diverse game. It's MMO level complex, and you gotta always farm towards your current needs. Think of the places you spend farms as being the gym for your account. And some days it's leg day, and some days it's cardio. You just got to work on what your needs are. When in doubt, spread it out. Who is worth getting for both PvP and PvE in the 5-star selector event right now? Fene is probably the most important purchase from that event, bar none. She is way more usable in PvE than in PvP, but she is so important to PvE. Nobody's ever sad they have a Fene. Beyond Fene, Yulha, it's probably one of the easiest to build and most reliable PvP units on that list. I just went through this with somebody. I just got hit back on the site being in Thai. Smogate said that this is intended as the in-game announcement for those regions / languages weren't working, so they put it there so they could have a place to go and read them until they got their site working. Ah, why game? Stop. Warning. They need to have a flashbang warning when they're going to do this to us. Oh, good lord. Didn't know I needed safety equipment to play this game. All right. I got all the chests and everything, so I guess we are good to wake up. Chad, who should I get with my 5-star selector? Fene. Rowana is very good, very useful. All right, guys. Fun little mission. This was nice. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is way better than the Senya event. The story was cute and the rewards were nice and it wasn't tedious at all. We got everything right. Do we miss anything in there? Did I miss anything, anybody, or did we get it all taken care of? Should always go for somebody new, robot. You never know what they're going to add or buff down the road. So I always recommend getting something new, even if it's, you know, bad or D tier on tier lists. All it takes is one balance patch to change all of that. There are plenty of units we've seen rise to the top of the meta. Litica was the most important unit in the game last year. Earlier this year. Most important RTA unit in the game, bar none. Before her buff, nobody used her anywhere, and she was like F tier forever. So all it takes is a balance patch to change things. So yeah, if you always pick something new. I think all quests and chests are done. I don't see anything else, guys. And this is all empty and blank, so I think we're good. There we go. Hope you guys enjoyed the story as much as I did. I thought it was very, very nice. Very well put together. Clean and fun. All right. Let's get some points. Let's get this selector, and then we can sit together and talk about who to pick up from this selector ticket. What do I need to do to earn some points for this thing, huh? Otherworldly Hunt, Otherworldly Breach. Freakrus, thank you for the sub, buddy. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. 16 months. Holy. Actually, I don't know if I want to do Otherworldly Breach anymore. I know the chance of gear drop is better, but I think I've got everybody on this gear set that I want on this gear set, and now it just feels like I'm wasting stamina farming it. Oh, now I get why the person was saying, should I dump all of my leafs into farming Otherworldly Hunt and stuff? I mean, because of the event, that goes above and beyond what I said before. You always want to make sure you farm enough to clear out this board. It is a very, very good rewards from this board, so don't leave any food on the table. Make sure you clean your plate. But once the event is all farmed out, then what I said holds true. Let's see. Hunts. Otherworldly seems so meh to me. I got 0 good gear. It's no different than regular Hunt, dude. It's the exact same gear dropping, except the amount of purple gear you get is lower, and you get a chance for otherworldly gear. But they didn't design it to be, you know, a high volume of super high-end gear. They designed it to just be a faster way to farm. They wanted to make the experience be less time-consuming. Now, you will get more gear out of farming Rift, but you'll get it slower and it'll be lower quality. But if you're relatively new and you're just trying to seed your account and you need volume and you're trying to save stamina, there's a world where Rift can be better because you can target only the sets you want and avoid the sets you don't want. You're not going to get as good of a gear, but you're going to get more gear. You'll get 4 pieces of gear per stamina from Rift versus 3 pieces of gear for the same amount of stamina from Otherworldly. So you do get, what's that, 33% more gear, but you'll never get Otherworldly gear. And you get more purples from Rift than from Otherworldly, it seems. We're still testing that, but so far it's looking like you get better gear overall, like a lot less purples. Although I got like almost all purples on this one. That's crazy. So that may be anecdotal. We'll have to test it more and see. I do like that you get a focus on the reforged mats that you need. If you're chasing Wyvern reforged mats, you can just focus on Rift. Whereas Otherworldly, whereas with Rift, the reforged mats are sloppy and all over the place. You'll seem to run out. Yeah, I think once every single unit on your account is geared and you're just looking to improve things, you never go to Rift again. I think the only reason to do Rift is you can do it. You've got Robin and you can do it. And you're just trying to get a good baseline. You're trying to get gear on everything. And once you've got gear on everything that you want to have geared, then I think you turn your back on Rift and walk away. You think they'll announce Headhunt event soon? Probably in November. Probably announce it in November would be my guess. Any review on CZN? Do I like it? I had a lot of fun while I was playing it. It's a good game. I think it's got legs. I think it's got a good chance to make it. It's just as long as Smilegate keeps the content rolling and there's no major drama. November equals Aria's available. Yeah, fingers crossed, right, Joe? Don't make me choose, bro. Oh, that's right. You have the 100% journal now. I mean, look at the proportion of red to purple. We've got almost the same amount of reds as we do purple, and I've never seen that from Rift. Rift, the purple always seems to greatly outweigh the reds. Plus, in otherworldly, you can get otherworldly gear. In Rift, you can't get otherworldly gear. And it's a much, much, much faster way to get the reforged mats. I mean, it's all about speed. It feels bad because you feel like you just burned through your stamina like that and it's over and done with, but that's the point. The point is to get you in and out and grinding through this so that you can get onto other things. Now, what sucks, right, is I'm looking for speed set. Let's see. Nope, nope, 1, 2, nope, 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 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, you know. That's why a lot of people feel like they're not getting stuff they want. In hunts, every single piece is a piece that's from a set that you hand selected to be a set you're chasing. And that makes Rift nice. You don't have, you know, shit sets and crit sets gobbling up the works. Now, for me, I'm like, oh, that's fine. Those are fodder. Those are charms to sell. Look at that. More. Look at all the red compared to the purple. A lot more reds. That's gear I can sell for golds. Gear I can sell for charms. So for me, I like it better, but you know, it's like if I'm working on getting a better destruction piece, I'll go farm Banshee. If I'm working on getting a better speed piece, I'll go farm Wyvern, and everything else is just fodder. I'm not worried about getting a whole bunch of mediocre gear. I want to get 1 or 2 pieces of really good gear because I'm just trying to make incremental improvements to the pieces I already have. I think once you're past that point, once you're past the point where you've got a good baseline of gear on everybody and you're just looking for improvements, there's no reason to ever farm Rift again. But that's just my 2 cents. Everybody's gonna have their own opinion on it. If you're a it's a shit set, and it's a low statted shit set. At least it's percent though. At least it's percent. Maybe we'll get lucky. I don't know. To each their own, right? I'm not going to tell anybody that they're wrong for farming Rift versus Otherworldly, but I will be surprised if Rift comes back again in its current form. I think they'll find a way to make it more consistent with the mission statement that Smogate put out there of making farming feel less like a chore and more over and done with kind of quickly so you can get on to other things that you want to do. They want you to spend time being able to play this game, get it done, so you can go over and play CZN some and then come back and not feel like you're trapped here farming for a buff event, right? There's a lot of purple in that one. Yuck. That would basically invalidate the other 4 hunts. That's what Rift did initially. Oh, I'm sorry, I misread. Freakrus said, I wish Wyvern had speed dust or torrent immunity. Well, that's Rift. You want that, you go farm Rift. I do think they should put speed set in every single hunt. And then just move riposte and reversal sets into Wyvern. And then put speed set in every single hunt. And then you can just farm the hunt you want. And you get speed set plus the other gear you're actually chasing. You know somebody would cry and complain about it. Like, oh, now they're speeding. They're getting in the way of me getting my revenge sets. How are we doing on this event? We got enough points yet? Hot damn. We got enough points, guys. All right. So this week we have got a selector ticket, we got some trash stones, we got some charms, and we got some Mola. And then you can unlimited buy these charms. I strongly encourage you to not waste your money on the equipment charms. The amount it costs to farm, you could put that same amount of stamina into farming unrecorded history or even adventure, and the amount of charms and powder you would get per stamina spent is more than the amount of charms you would get buying these things. If it's the same as the carrot event, that holds true. Now, the right side charms, they're a little harder to get, so maybe you feel some value in that you can't farm these up. So if you want to grab right side charms, go for it. But left side charms, I would just sack that stamina for something else. Of course, you want to get the Mola. These, I mean, you know, spend your overage, sure, but I would not buy anything else from this week. And we go on to week 2. You can use some of your saved up stuff. Exact same story. The charms are not worth it. The stamina, it's better to go farm a regular adventure and you'll get charms and AP, or unrecorded history and you'll get charms and gold, or, you know, you get what I'm picking up, right? And let's see, we got an artifact selector next week, another artifact selector, and ooh, the fully decked out hero selector. That's juicy. That's sad to see that it's all charms, but yeah, that's my advice. Do not buy these charms unless you just have nothing else to buy. It's week 4 and you're out, so you may as well just go ahead and grab a thing. I only recommend grabbing the right side charms. I would leave these on the table and use that stamina to farm something worthwhile that also gives you charms. But who can we get? Guys, there are so many choices. So many choices. Feels like it's time for a tier list. Tier list maker. We're going to do this from the perspective of somebody who is relatively new at the game. Who should they pick up? I think that's the fairest way to do it, because if you've been playing this game for 5 years, you don't need me to tell you who to pick. You know how this works. So let's see. Let's filter this out. You cannot get ML units. You cannot get limited units, and you cannot get collaboration units. So first of all, let me get rid of red, green, blue, no ML. Let me get rid of the limiteds. So we'll just put these down here in the nobody can get these area. And no collaboration units. So we'll get rid of the collab heroes. Alrighty, and that should show everybody who's a 5-star, who is a RGB hero, should show everybody that is available from the list. All right, so what do we call these? Everybody wants some. This is our must-have tiers. So the units that you're probably going to want on your list. And this is going to be the solid units. This is just your basic A tier. If you don't have a unit, if you have everybody in the top and nobody here, this is what you're going to want. And this is kind of a niche, mid, needs a buff. And that's it. We're going to keep this simple. We're going to keep it stupid simple, right? These are who you get. These are who you get if the top row's all filled up. And this bottom row, if you've got everything on the top two rows, this bottom row, pick somebody who is waifu or husbando, or who helps you do a niche thing, because they're okay. They might be good in certain situations. They might be good super late game, but you know what? It's not they're not earth-shattering, and you're kind of just hoping maybe they get a buff or the meta changes. You're early enough in the game that these are so hard to gear, you aren't going to want to build them because you aren't going to be able to build them, so maybe it's good to move on, right? And down here, I'm going to put in this column here, get it free, okay? This is where you just get the unit for free. Don't go using a selector on a unit and then find out like, oh shit, I got that for free later. Okay, and I'm not talking about like, oh, the game gives you a chapter 3 selector and you could pick it. That's a different story. I'm talking about things like Tamarin or Bomb Model Kana that you just get them for free by doing certain steps in the game. Now let's see, there are other units that are not available on this ticket, right? So who else is not available? We cannot get Robin, Setsuka, Xeno. Okay, so we gotta get rid of Xeno, Robin, and Setsuka too, so... Robin, you are not available. Setsuka, you are not available. Xeno, you are not available. Was that it, or was there another one? Robin, Setsuka, Xeno. That's it. All right, guys. Ready to go through it? Remember, we're thinking about this from a new to early game player's perspective, right? People who've been playing this game, this is predominantly for people who've been playing this game 6 months or less, and usable for people who've been playing this game for, I would say, 15 months or less. Anybody beyond that probably doesn't need as much help, or is maybe starting to focus heavy on RTA and will want a different tier list. This isn't going to be your RTA heavy tier list, except to maybe get you into RTA. We'll talk about that as we go. Abigail is a solid unit. She's not one that's going to be great end game, but she will get you into RTA enough to get you a master's frame. She is solid in a lot of Guild Wars. That safety net on this here, she is surprisingly good. Surprisingly useful early game. Brieg, you get for free. Bomb Model Kana, you get for free. Alencia, you know what? How do we quantify Alencia? If you don't have young Senya, is she really solid? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to put her up here because she is a solid unit. She's one that you can build relatively easily. She's not going to alter your game, but she is a useful one to have. Aramentha needs a buff. She's really good, but only in very niche situations. Arya is somebody that everybody wants on their team. God damn it, Ken. I'm in the middle of a tier list. Hang on, guys. Hey, what's up? Sorry, guys. Before we get into Arya too much, I used to be huge on Arya being a must-have unit because of how important she was to Wyvern, but now that they've nerfed Wyvern, they've gotten rid of stage 1 and made it so easy. I mean, you could just do a simple Wyvern team with the free freaking units now. It's what I use. Is there any real reason that she's a must-have anymore versus just really good? Tell me, Joe. Tell me about why. Sell me on Arya. Because I used to be 100%, but almost all that was centered around the fact that she was the easiest Wyvern one-shot out there, and now everything one-shots Wyvern. It's a good starter PvP. I was just saying that she's huge. Go Arya, Chris. Okay, I'll put her up there. You sold me. Okay. Arya is a good hero, somebody that everybody would probably want on their account. She is really good at Wyvern, though so is just about everybody now. Her stocks have dropped. I thought about moving her down just because she is not quite the quintessential need that she used to be, but she is pretty easy to gear early on. Combined especially with specialty change Christie now, she doesn't need nearly as much gear as she used to, which makes her a very good unit to take into Guild Wars and into early arena. I think you'll be able to get some stuff done with her. So I'm going to leave her up here, though. Her position in the must-have tier is a little bit shaky. Arunca just needs a buff. Ballin Sazan is good for expeditions, and that is it. And he is replaceable by other units. If you're picking him up, you're picking him up for that niche, and you know that niche. Basar needs a buff. Actually, Basar doesn't need a buff because the last thing we need is another freaking Basar meta, but I'm leaving him down here. Bihu, hard to gear, harder to play. Surprisingly good when you're able to play him. Bologna is a solid unit. She is a very strong DPS. She's one of the easiest ways to speed through Banshee, but again, just about everything kills Banshee anymore. But she's really good when PvE stuff comes out. Her built-in DGJ mechanic makes her really good in a lot of PvE and transitional PvE, so I still like Bologna as an early game pickup. She literally saved my game. I would have dropped E7 like a hot potato with how hard of a start that I had, and then I got Bologna, and suddenly the whole world opened up for me, and Abyss and other content became so much easier. So I'm never going to not have her under solid units. Brigitte, however, as smoking hot as this redhead is, and I'm just going to put them together so you can see how much Smilegate has issues with redheads, and needs to buff the redheads. Buff the redheads, Smilegate. Cecilia used to be up here until a unit called Brieg came out and stole all of her jobs, and now she just needs a buff. But Brieg is free to make it worse. So there are very, very few places where Cecilia is used anymore. Celine is a unit everybody wants on their account. You won't use her too terribly heavily in early game, but once you get to end game, once you get to mid game and you're starting to care a little bit about Guild Wars and RTA, you're going to be very, very glad you've got a green Celine in your hands and in your pocket. She is a powerhouse unit. Fire Sermia, you get her for free. Green Charles was good in Constellation, and then we found a way to full auto Constellation without him, and now poor Charlie, Chucky doesn't have a job anymore. Fire Charlotte is in the meta where everybody was anti-crit. Charlotte was amazing. Her ability to always crit. Now not so much. Chloe is not a good unit. Everybody tries to tell me, no, you can use Chloe here, you can use Chloe there. No, Chloe is just bad. Shu is a decent starter unit. She's basically green Alencia. She's an HP scaling bruiser who is good in really low level RTA. Once you get out of low level RTA, you're not going to use her, but early on, she's a good staple unit to help you get your master's frame. Command model Leica is a decent unit late game, right? In the very, very late end game, people are doing some crazy stuff with Leica. Early game, you're not going to find many uses for this girl. She's too hard to build. Destina is a staple unit, one everybody should have on their account. She solves so many problems. She makes so much content that you were struggling with suddenly doable. Having the safety net of a full raise, having a heal on every single one of her skills is so nice. Very, very good. Ida. Yeah, I'm not feeling it. I think Ida needs a little bit of a buff. Elena is... Once you get into RTA, she's going to be up here, but otherwise, she's a solid unit. Early game, she's not going to do nearly as much for you. She's an investment hero, one that you pick up now, and 6 months from now, you're glad to have. Eligos is a really solid hero, except that he is hard to build. I'm not even going to come down here and say this guy needs a buff or anything that crazy. Just be aware, he takes some pretty good gear. You're going to struggle using him early on. Elvira. God, Elvira. Guys. What do we say about Elvira? She is like principal important right now, but only if you have Lady of the Scales. Does Elvira do much for you without Lady of the Scales on the team? Rope tech unit. Remember who we are targeting here, guys. Remember who we're targeting here. Yeah, the anti-fighting spirit, right? They're getting ready to rerun, crap, what's her name? Oh no, wait, she's focused, not fighting spirit. Never mind. Yeah, yeah, young Senya. I don't think she's good for new players, guys. So Elvira, you're going to see her on just about every single defense. Elvira is a good character to have because of her ability to stop fighting spirit. That makes a really nice tech pick in higher RTA, and she pairs incredibly well with Lady of the Scales. If you have Lady of the Scales on your account, then she's up here. Until that happens, she's not that useful for new players. And remember, guys, this is focusing on new players. She's a unit that if you pick her up, you're picking her up as an investment hero, but you're not going to get much of anything out of her in the early to mid game. And that's what I'm trying to focus this tier list on, because people who've been playing for 4 or 5 years, they don't need tier lists, typically. Ervelyn. Ervelyn only has one use, and that's to help you full auto trial the constellations. Other than that, he is a useless character. Fene, front of the list. If you don't have Fene, this is where you do it. You get Fene. She solves. She is the hammer to Brieg's anvil. You have these two units, and you can handle 90% of the PvE in this game. So if you don't have a Fene now, pick her up. Fenris is not a good unit. He's only really good in helping out with expeditions. Flan is terrible and needs a buff. Fumir is a very solid hero, but not new player friendly. She is hard to gear, she's hard to play, and almost everything that centers around her is PvP related, is higher RTA related. I would not recommend Fumir unless you're right on that cusp of trying to get yourself into RTA and you know what the heck you're doing. Guard Captain Crow. Guard Captain Crow lets you see through a lot of the BS that's in the meta right now. He is relatively easy to build, and he is a very strong unit. I think he easily makes it into this top tier list. I think new players could do a lot with this unit, and he's a solid pickup. And we'll put Haste right here beside Shu. Haste will let you do a lot of stuff in the Abyss, will help you out with a lot of PvE, and then once you get about to the 15-month mark, you're going to put Haste on the shelf and never use them again. That's the same thing with Shu. So get you through a lot of stuff. Yes, Guard Captain is in the Selector. Haste should be by Crow. No, that's crazy talk. One can be used in PvP, the other can't. Hua Young is incredibly difficult to build, and once again, Smilegate, buff the redheads. Ilanov, it's just not a good unit. She was the introduction of injury to this game. Wukong's pretty solid. He is a strong unit. Issaria, I think, used to be a must-have unit. Used to be the most important thing ever in order to initiate your Tamarins. in order to be able to go out there and put the defense brakes in the target so you could go and nuke things. Oh, wait. It's right. We get her for free now. I keep forgetting. New player to get her for free. Saria is a free unit. Janua. I'm putting Janua at the front of the solid units. Janua is a powerful, powerful unit. But not so strong that I would call him a must-have. I think if you pick up Janua, you're going to be able to make a lot of Guild War fights easier and have a strong tool for RTA. But he is relatively hard to build, and his uses are somewhat niche. I'm going to leave him at the front. Kane is the most tragically awful unit. If I had a tier below this one, I'd put Kane in it. Kowarik is solid, but pretty hard to build. And then there's Ice Kowarik. Where is she? Ice Kowarik, where are you? Here you go. Ice Kowarik. Practically the same damn unit. You get into, well, Akise actually is significantly better than Kowarik. You get into endgame RTA. Remember when I said like Fumir is really good, but you better have really good gear and know how to play her. You can say the same thing about Kisei. Say the same thing about Command Model Leica. These are all units that can be used, but not early game, not help I'm new tier. So I'm putting them down here, even though you look at other tier lists and units like these are going to be rated way higher. Those are investment heroes. And if you're wanting to buy for the future, go for it. But remember, what's meta now may not be meta 7 or 8 months from now when you're getting ready to start diving into RTA. So I'm trying to keep this reasonable for newer players. Kairon. You know what? I'm going to put Kairon here in the solid units because when you get to the point where you're getting ready to dip your toe into RTA, one of the least pleasant things in the world is getting cleaved, and having anti-cleave options like Kairon is huge. Being able to slap a thing down and stop somebody from just running you over feels really good. He's not that hard to build, and yeah, you just don't. Nobody likes getting into RTA just having their asses handed to him by Cleave. So I'm going to stick him here. People are saying he's also a good Guild War character. Ken used to be an instrumental part of a Wyvern team, but now Wyvern's stupid easy, so he just needs a buff. Crow, I think, is one of the most important RGB knights in the game, and you should pick one up if you don't have them. Both Crows are very, very, very good. Lidica, man, she was up here. Her 15 minutes. Never have I seen a unit make such a incredibly super fast rise and then a freaking such a catastrophic fast crash. Now almost nobody uses her, and she needs a buff. Lilius. Guys, I think Lilius is just niche. Normally, I'm all about like dual attack units, right? Dual attack units that so you can just pair them with a DPS unit and stuff, but there's so many of them now. I'm not sure if we care about Lilius. Yeah, Lilius does have a dual attack on her S1, so you will be able to find some PV uses with her when you pair her with a nuking unit, like Lilius, Commander, Lorena together can two-woman a lot of things, but it's just very niche, few and far between, and there's so many units now that dual attack. I don't think it's that big of a deal anymore. Having that S3 cleanse and be able to nuke with her S3, you maybe find some uses on Abyss floors, but you're going to find it's going to be hard to slot her in. Lilibet, I think, is a solid unit. Lilibet is basically girl strays. Anybody seen people just do insane stuff with strays? Lilibet can basically do the same thing. She is the easiest Banshee unit for clearing Banshee. She is really good at nuking a lot of hunts as well as a lot of other content, and you can work her into actual RTA and use her in that sense too. Having Extinction in her kit's very strong. Unit that used to be trash tier, but since her buffs has worked her way back up. Lua is hard to build and harder to play. Ludwig is hard to build and harder to play. Luluka is a very good unit. I like to describe Luluka as the girl that everybody says is hot, but then nobody asks her to the dance. Luluka can do everything good. Not great, good. If you need a shield in this fight, Luluka's got you covered. You need an attack buff, or Luluka's got you here. You need a DPS, Luluka's got you. But you also need a defense breaker. Hey, Luluka's got that too. You need a speed buff to make your team go, oh, Luluka does that too. You need somebody to carry Taga Hale's ancient book. Guess what? She's a mage. Luluka does it all. There is always somebody that does the specific job better. You need a defense breaker, there's better ones. You need a book holder, there's better ones. You need a speed buffer, better ones. You need somebody who gets barriers, better ones. She is a Jane of all trades, mistress of none. But early game, that's huge. Early game, you're trying to solve content, you're trying to clear content, you're trying to solve problems. Having a Luluka on your team means you have a multi-tool in your toolbox that does everything, right? She is the Swiss Army knife with 10,000 different things on it. Are the scissors on your Swiss Army knife better than real scissors? Is the knife on your Swiss Army knife better than a fucking real Bowie knife? Even the toothpick's missing, but she is really, really good early game. And mid game. She'll carry through a lot of stuff and she'll solve a lot of problems. And eventually you'll get to the late game, and your toolbox will be filled with all the good tools, and you're not going to reach for your multi-tool nearly as much. That's all I got to say about Luluka. Melissa is actually quite good into this meta, especially when you combine her with her sister Abigail. These two work very, very well together. And Melissa has more immortalities than BBK has if you play her right. Melissa can put a curse on the enemy and then blow somebody else up and kill multiple units at a time. She is surprisingly good. She takes decent gear and she takes a little bit of know-how. She's not the easiest unit to play, but I think you're going to be able to get some mileage out of her as you get towards the latter half of your early game experience and into your mid game. Mort is just right beside Fene for the most important unit in the game. If you haven't had the pleasure of fighting Mort yet, don't quit Epic 7. It's not always like that. And for those of you who have had the pleasure of fighting Mort, I think you know why you want him. Mui got buffed and it wasn't enough. They need to buff her again. Knockwall is too hard for a new to early game player to build. She takes incredibly good gear, and even then is very hard to play. Pavel, his only real use is clearing Banshee content, and in PvP his uses are even few and far between. You could even say he is the green version of the Sigrid Kisei, the Kisei Kowarik team, right? They both are very fast, high speed DPSs, and speed DPSs are amongst the hardest to build. Peyra is difficult to build, late game at best. Polydus. If you are early game, she is a solid unit. If you are late game, she is a unit that you're going to want on your team. She cuts CR pushing in half, and that's going to be very important when you start deciding to dip your toe into RTA. So I think she's a worthwhile pickup for sure. Ran is just boy Peyra. Ravi. I used to recommend Ravi to new players because she was so strong. What's your guys' opinions on Ravi? I think there's no world where we have Ravi in a tier below Shu and Alencia. Yeah. Okay, so Ravi is a good bruiser DPS. We got your ice bruiser DPS, your earth bruiser DPS, and your fire bruiser DPS, and they're all in about the same tier, right? They're all units who are going to help you out early game, help you reach that master's flag, and then are going to just fall away and be units you aren't going to reach for until they're buffed or get partners. Just good, solid meat and potato, hard to kill units. And units that self-heal while they attack. I think this is going to be good for killing a lot of PvE content and getting your toe in the door of RTA. Ray is just crappy Destina, so let's stick him down here, needs a buff. Rowana, I think everybody needs a Rowana on their account. With counterattacks being so prevalent, I think Rowana is going to be very, very good. In both early RTA and in a lot of PvE content. There's always something from Hall of Trials to whatever the special story event that's going on, into Abyss Floors, to even some RTA fights where you're going to be happy you have a Rowana. She is the easiest unit in the game to build. You literally just stick 6 pieces of gear on her and press go. So just because of how easy she is to build, I think you'd want to pick her up. Schneel has one use and one use only, and that is you can put him in a team with 3 ungeared units and Friendship Farm Banshee. That's pretty much it. Oh, and when you do get into RTA, when you see somebody drop that Death Dealer Ray nonsense, or some maniac decides to try to throw Sharoon at you because after this side story event they think Sharoon is somehow good, Schneel absolutely obliterates all of that. You know what? Schneel is so good in early RTA that I'm just going to put him up under solid units. If you are deciding to get into RTA, you're going to push for your frame, you maybe even take Schneel up a notch. Because he stops Death Dealer Ray, and Death Dealer Ray is still prominent. But if you're not worried about RTA, you're not quite there yet, you could backburner Schneel, because outside of RTA, the only place you're going to be dropping Schneel is to make Banshee a little bit easier for background battling and quick battling. Senya has got no use in the game whatsoever and needs a buff. Sez is hard to build and harder to play. The Sez would be really, really good now if it wasn't for Mort and young Senya. Mort and young Senya just make Sez absolutely unplayable. Sharoon had a chance to be good, and then Schneel came along and said, no, you don't get to be in this game anymore. So Sharoon's going down here, waiting for somebody to give her a way to play the game with Schneel in this world. Sigrid you get for free. And remember when I said Smilegate hates redheads? They don't discriminate by gender. There's going to be somebody in my comment section be like, no, Tayu's really good. No, he's not. At a high end with a specific build in certain situations, you can do stuff with Tayu, and you can say that about anybody in this tier. I'm not going to recommend Tayu to a newer player. If somebody says, help, I'm new, and your response is, go get Tayu, well, you're an asshole. Tamarin you get for free. Tenebria, you know what? Tenebria is basically Girl Lulika. Oh boy, there's some lore there. Tenebria is basically Fire Lulika. Everything that I said about Lulika, it's the same thing for Tenebria. The differences predominantly are Tenebria is a little bit more focused on control. So Lulika is a little bit more PvE oriented. Tenebria is a little more PvP oriented, but they basically cover the same thing. They're both damage dealing, book holding mages who can defense break and control the enemy a little bit. So much like Lulika, she's a unit you'll pick up, use her in a few places, and then you'll get to the end game and she'll go on the shelf and you'll never touch her again. Tywin's just bad. There'll be people like, no, Tywin, no. He's not good. Vildred's a tricky one. Vildred's a very tricky one. The big reason to have Vildred is to start your journey towards the dark side of being a cleaver. Because when you get multiple Vildreds and you start imprinting your Vildred, he becomes the highest speed imprint in the game that hits every spot. He will give 12 speed to all of his teammates, and no other unit in the game does that. There's a couple that give 14, but they only give it to 2 of their teammates, not all 3. So Vildred actually dishes out a grand total of 36 speed to your team combined. But you need multiple Vildreds to make that happen. If you're ready to make that journey, Vildred is a fantastic DPS. He can help you cleave, and he's also very, very good in Asmakalis, even without the imprints. You want to farm yourself some A3, there are a few units as good as Vildred. But that's about it. He's good in some PvE, and eventually you get multiples of him. So I'm going to leave him here under solid units because I do believe you can build up a solid Vildred early game. Oh, Violet. Oh my God, guys, what do we think about Violet? Is it worth it to say Violet is a worthwhile pickup for getting into early RTA? Or are we just, I think Mort just shit cans Violet so hard that he's not even usable anymore. So here's the thing about Violet, guys. Violet would be a really good unit to get you into Masters RTA, but because Mort exists, Violet is not allowed to. So I think Violet just needs a buff. Unless some things change, it's just too hard to use them. Vivian, you get for free. Euphine is not a good unit, needs a buff. Yuna, you get for free. And Eula and Zahak. I'm going to come back to Eula. I'll do Zahak real quick here. In this evasion meta, if you're looking to climb into RTA, if you're looking to get, punch through some dodge units, having some accuracy on your unit really helps, and Zahak is really good for that. But we're talking about Guild War, some Arena, some RTA at a lower level. You're probably going to use them less and less as you move on. As for DPS, in regular PvE, he's single target, which isn't that great, but you can find some use for him. I'll leave him in the solid units category. And now we got Yulha. If you are looking to build a defense in Arena, or Guild War for that matter, if you're looking to get started in RTA, Yulha's kit is insane. And I'll even move her ahead of Crow. I said earlier I felt Crow was the most important RGB knight out there for actual, being a defensive knight. I think Yulha's insane. So there you go, guys. That is my jank real quick, didn't put any thought into it, tier list for using your selector ticket based on I'm relatively new. I think if you're relatively new, nobody on the top row is going to give you regrets. You're going to find places for them. I don't really have them sorted too much left to right, although I'll tell you what, I'm almost kind of, I guess move her over. I'm almost kind of satisfied with the sorting. Yeah. Left to right. Everything else is sloppy and out of order. Schneel is definitely not ahead of Janua or anything like that. So don't put the ordering in any don't put too much stock in the order they're in. All I'm saying is that the best way to view this tier list is left to right for the top tier, and after that, start looking at the middle tier and pick units. You go, I don't have Vildred, I don't have Janua, and I don't have Wukong. Well, go look at those 3 units. Go look at their skills. Think about what teams you'd want to play those on. Talk it over with your friends. Say, hey, these are the units I got. And they'll say, oh, you're totally set up for an amazing team that would use Janua really, really good. Oh, you're in a position where you could really use Wukong well. They'll help you figure it out. But these start to get so niche that if I say you definitely want to pick up a Luluka, and then I find out you've already got a Tenebria and you maybe didn't need Luluka nearly as much, I'm giving you bad advice. So this one really kind of has to be your choice. I can't really sort these for you. The top row, that's easy. But this middle row, pick a waifu that you like. Pick a husbando you think is edgy. Look at the kits and make a decision. Talk it over with your friends. But I think if you got everybody in the top row locked down, you pick from this middle row. And if you've got the top 2 rows locked down, you got every single one of these units. Congratulations. I don't know why you're looking at a new player tier list, because you are pretty freaking far from a new player. But if you are that far in the game or that lucky in the game, you're looking at the rest of the team and just going, you know what? It's niche. And this is where you really need somebody to help you out. Look at your account, break it down for you, and be able to say, based on the units you have, you could build a great team that will work well with Flan, or a team that will work amazing with Charles. But you're not going to be able to just be able to point at and say, oh, this would be good for everybody at your state in the game. It's going to be very subjective. Objective. It's going to be very based on your current needs. Hang on one second, guys. Is that clear? Everybody good? All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this tier list. I hope this helps give you some perspective. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Oh, and real quick, if you need additional assistance, click on the link in the description of this video to jump into my Discord and ask your questions there. Whole host of helpful people that will help you figure out exactly what you need and what's best for your next step. Take care, everybody. All right. Holy crap, we've done a lot of videos today, guys. For endgame, Lidica would be high tier. No. 3 months ago, sure. But in a post-Setska, post-Scaly meta, she is damn near unplayable anymore, unfortunately. What if I whale and I have all of these units? Then you pick the prettiest unit, the one you like the look of the most, the one you want sitting at your lobby tail, and you say, I want Elegos because he's an edgy husbando, or I want Bologna because she looks cute in a dress. You pick whoever you want to pick and go for it. Because at that point in time, when you've got everything, it's just aesthetics or imprints. You can always look at the imprints and say, you know what? It would be nice for Vildred to have more speed. I'll pick up a second Vildred. And when you're starting to get to the point where you're picking based on what imprints you want, you are nowhere near early game anymore. And it becomes very subjective. You don't need Vildred imprints if you're not a degenerate cleaver like me. Maybe you want to pick up some, I don't know, maybe she goes up here because you're trying to get imprints into Bossarunka, savvy? Imprints are weird, right? Because imprints make some of the worst heroes in the game some of the best and most important heroes in the game, right? What's a cleaver? It's what most games would call aggro. It's effectively you're building a team that goes first and you're going to kill the enemy within the next 2 or 3. By the time your units have all taken turns, or the first 2 or 3 of your units have taken turns, the enemy team is entirely dead. They never got to push a button. It was over like that. Here, let me see if I can do one for you. Imagine an imprint tier list. Yikes. That would be rough, man. That'd be real rough to put together. I mean, basically just be looking at the top meta units and saying whoever their non-ML counterparts are. Yeah, cleave is over quickly, one way or the other. I'm going to imprint triple S cigarette to the to ML cigarette and then get the decked out select. You could do that. Need an imprint video. That would be very helpful. Okay. Okay, sure. Sure, we could do that. We'll have to push Hall of Trials till tomorrow, though. Running out of time. Everybody's playing CZN. There's nobody left to do RTA. I'm going to fight the sweatiest sweat ever. Or I'm going to get stream sniped. I just want to show somebody how to fail at cleave. Come on, game. Wow. There's nobody playing. I'm blaming CZN, but the reality is RTA sucks this season. To be fair, it's not a dead game. It's just a dead season. Nobody likes RTA. Should I get Sneal or Urvalin? Is Urvalin on Earth Auto Team? Urvalin will help you more for Trial of Constellations. Sneal will help you more in RTA. If I were picking one or the other, I would go with Sneal because a lot of people care about the cosmetic of the frame. But Urvalin would make Constellations easier, and that does give tangible, appreciable, account moving rewards. You just got to decide which one's more important to you. You can do Trial of Constellations without Urvalin. He just makes it really, really easy. Holy shit, we're at 2.5 minutes. I've never gone this long without a match. It's starting to feel like Raid Shadow Legends over here with how long it's taken to get a match. There we go! 2:36. Which one of you was it? Which one of you had pity and jumped in here and sniped me? I am first pick. Oh, nice of you to get rid of Setska for me. Enjoy my Renak. Boss Arunka. Ugh. He's doing this crap. Okay, let me see. How about you? How about this? Oops, that's the wrong button. And how about this? This is what a cleaver strays looks like. That's a lot of damage. I love how he thinks this unit is going to scare me. Doesn't he know I put a neck on my unit? 30k HP Renak. Oh my god, remember that one? That 30k health Proof of Valor Renak? Yes, I have a neck on, Beardy. Damn it. Never gonna let me live that down. It was funny. I don't think I care about that. Okay, so I've got my cleave unit on 3, who's capable of destroying everything. I've got 2 initiator units, so you can ban either one. The other one can push them to the front of the line. And then I've got a couple of units who could stop me, right? Renak, if he picked Renak, that could stop me because most Renaks are fast enough to take out my initiator. So I took Renak as a denial pick. And then just in case something happens where it does go an extra round and somehow this raise unit survives, I took an anti-raise unit. And these can be fast. You get wiped out. You know what? I trust the speed of my units. I trust that I'm faster. If this was faster, if this was over 300 speed, he would have first picked her. So I'm trusting I'm faster. Okay, he takes out my A-lots. Put you in the front. So that you get all the pushes. And I think we're good. Yes. Who likely has more health? Probably. So let's just make sure you don't have too much health. Kill for that. The pop damage, will the pop damage get rid of the stealth, guys? I can never remember. I don't think it does, but just in case, I'm going to S1. Okay. We'll do this. I don't think it does either, but I don't want her to push up because I got rid of her stealth. And then we push you up to the front. Pop doesn't remove stealth. Good to know, Juan. Thank you so much. You can tell I play RTA all the damn time. Oh shit, but I just S3'd and remove stealth anyway. Pop. It's okay. And this is what's called cleaving. You cannot escape my sword. Think you had fun? Everybody loves fighting against cleavers. So there you go. So there's 5 principal fighting styles in this game, right? There's cleave, you just witnessed it. There's aggro, and aggro is very close to cleave, but aggro is less about killing right away and more about controlling the speed and tempo of the fight, having units that chain into each other, that move into each other, so that your opponent is able to fight back, but is never quite able to regain control of the fight. It doesn't feel as awful as being cleaved, but it's kind of the same thing, right? You're constant, you're just being overwhelmed with attacks, and you can never get your feet back out from under you. And then there's standard. Standard is kind of the classic standard RPG builds, right? You got a knight, or you're sorry, you got a DPS, you got a healer, you got a protection unit, and you got a support unit. You got the 4 principal archetype characters that form a role-playing game party, a standard team. And that's where the word standard comes from. So you're building a standard team. And those are the easiest to play and the hardest to master, because they really take knowing the kits, knowing the interactions. Some people refer to it also as turn 2, because your standard typically is the one dominating the fight, but you can have a more aggressive style standard, or you can have a more tank down style standard, and that's the third version, full on tank down, which some people misappropriately call turn 2. Tank down is just straight up building to live, right? You're picking 3 knights and 2 soul weavers. You're picking units that are just impossible to kill, and you're just going to kill the opponent. Yeah, villager. People call it, the villager comes from running so damn slow that the fight takes forever, and that all harkens back to the Harsetti meta, because Harsetti changes everybody in the fight's speed to 10% lower than her speed. So she equalizes and neutralizes speed and makes everything run slow. And they call it villager because she was from the village of Skuyeheim or something like that. It actually is a lore reason for it. But yeah, that's the slowest style. And then the 5th style, you don't see used as much anymore, but it's made a little bit of a comeback with Witch of the Mir Tenebri, is control. And control is just that. It's cleave in slow motion. Your opponent still never gets to play the game. They never get to push any buttons. You're working off stuns and sleeps and provokes, so that your opponent is just basically a punching bag that you're working over until you're ready for the fight to be over and it's done. And control was such a problem back in the day that we even made a little copy pasta for it. There you go. And this is the truth of it. I really enjoy playing against control comps. I get to spend more time with my family, maybe make a cup of coffee and work towards my PHP, while my opponent gets to play the match for me. It's improved my mood drastically, as I get unparalleled joy when I see 15% resistance and think of the mauled on their faces. Control comps are an integral part of the game, and I wouldn't be able to play this game without them. Not that I can really play the game much with them anyway. There was a 6th style called Casino, and Casino relied on using units like Rem and Green Violet, and just relying on counterattacks to win yourself the game. Counterattacks, Landy, Navy Captain Landy was a part of the Casino meta. What's that artifact? Elbrus Ritual Sword was part of the Casino's style, but units that just turn off Casino, like Mort, and to a lesser extent Astromancer Elena, have basically made the Casino meta vanish. Now, that's not even a style of play anymore. It's dead. It just doesn't exist anymore. That's enough RTA. All right. Are we really doing this? Imprint tier list. Oof. All right, so we're suggesting here that there's somebody who uses their imprints who's really hecking good, and you'd want the imprint for them, right? And this is going to be rough. I'm going to have to lean on you guys a little bit here. Man, even remembering what all the imprints are. Holy shit. Okay, hang on. Okay. We're just gonna go through this. We'll figure it out together. Okay, Mort. What's Mort's self-imprint? It's HP, right? Or is it crit? I don't remember what Mort's imprint is. Mort's is crit, S tier imprint. He doesn't have any ML or alternate versions, but self-imprint is crit, and crit is one of the most important imprints in the game. Rowanna's imprint, self-imprint doesn't matter, and her imprint for ML Rowanna is just attack. I'm just gonna put her at B tier. It's not that big of a deal. Destina and Ruel share an imprint, and ML Ruel's effectiveness. Sorry. Okay, so let me say that again for the video. Rowanna's self-imprint doesn't matter, and its effectiveness for ML Ruel, which is not... You know what? Effectiveness for ML Ruel is pretty decent. I'll leave her in A tier. Spirit Eye Celine, I'm pretty sure is crit. Am I right on that one? It's crit for Spirit Eye Celine, right? So, yeah. Very, very good imprint on Spirit Eye Celine. And for her, it's just attack, which is always nice, but not insane. I am right, though, right? It's attack for her and crit for Spirit Eye. So this is more for Spirit Eye than for herself. Destina. Destina is self HP and Ruel. ML Destina is also HP. No, Destina is ER and Ruel is HP. Thank you, Joe. Just post him as I get to him, Joe. just stay a little ahead of me. Okay, so Ruel is ER, which is nice, but not that big of a deal for the way most people play her. And so Destina is ER, but not that big of a deal for the way most people play her. And Ruel's HP. I'm gonna say B tier. It's nice, but it's not earth-shattering. Guard Captain Crow is defense, and Blue and Last Rider Crow are HP. I think for if you're building Last Rider, you know, all of these are nice, but they're not earth-shattering. In fact, you know what? They're nice, but they can be account for gear. It's not earth-shattering. Yulha. Self-HP on Yulha is good. I'm only putting it up here because Yulha is so freaking strong, and also because ML Yulha is an unknown quantity. When ML Yulha comes out in a few weeks, this could change. So I'm just gonna leave her right here at an A. Arya gets defense, who cares? And ML Arya gets HP, which is nice, but again, I'm not a huge fan of HP as an imprint. It doesn't do that much. Crow. Crow's self-imprint is HP, Last Rider Crow is HP, and Guard Captain Crow's defense. I just don't think the Crows are that critical. What's Politis give? Politis gives effectiveness to herself, and ML Politis gets HP. I'm going to put it down in A. Effectiveness is really a nice imprint if you're building an effectiveness Politis instead of a damage Politis, and they are the best for anti-cleave. Very, very tanky, high effectiveness, high ER Politises are brutal for anti-cleave. And if that's what you're building her for, that's a good pickup. Fene does not have any ML versions, so for Fene, we only care about herself. I believe Fene is just HP, and you know how I feel about HP as an imprint, so I'm going to leave her down here. Vildred is probably the most important imprint in the game for a self-imprint. For Arbiter Vildred, it's more attack, but any extra Vildreds you get, you're going to want to go into Arbiter Vildred or into Green Vildred for teams. Oh, God, sorry. Lunch. Any imprints you get for Vildred, you're going to want to put it into Green Vildred until he's maxed out. Janua, is Janua attack? Or is Janua crit? Crit chance imprint for Genua. Crit chance are amongst the most valuable imprints in the game. If you're building Genua, good. Get the crit. Okay, where are we at, Joe? Wukong's imprint is attack, and he has nobody else he can put his imprints into, so I'm not that impressed, and we'll leave him down here right beside Fene. I'm assuming Schneel is HP. Schneel's just HP, and much like Fene, there are no ML Schneels floating around out there, thank God, so there we go. What about Lulika? But what's Lulika get? It's going to be effectiveness on Lulika, right? Surely it's effectiveness for Lulika. Attack? Really? Okay, so blue Lulika can do self-attack, which is terrible. Top model Lulika can get crit, which is insane. But top model Lulika is kind of hard to build. And then Lulikar, whose exclusive equipment makes her really good into Ahmed, but you really don't need the ER on her. So even though this is a crit imprint, it's a crit imprint for a unit that's barely usable. So I'm just going to put her down here in A. I would put her down in B if it wasn't for the fact that crit is so good and all it takes is one little buff to make top model Lulika be insane again. So I'm just going to leave her in the A for right now. Tenebria. So we need Spectre, Witch of the Mirror, Alice in Wonderland Tenebria, Fairy Tale Tenebria, and regular Tenebria. Whew. So Fire Tenebria gets effectiveness, Spectre Tenebria gets attack, which is terrible, Witch gets HP, which is kind of meh, and Fairy Tale Tenebria gets effectiveness. I'm just gonna put her down here just because Witch is so strong. But I'm not a huge fan of any of the Tenebrias outside of Witch of the Mirror Tenebria in the current meta. Okay, Elena. Astromancer Elena is not a real unit, not usable, so it doesn't matter what her imprint is unless you're banking on her getting a buff, and regular Elena just gets ER, which is nice. I'll leave her down here in the solid because ER is very nice for Elena. Lone Crescent Bologna is very hard to use, barely unit. Seaside Bologna is actually freakishly the best of the Bolognas, and Green Bologna is PvE only. So I'm going to put her down here because her imprints are for units that aren't super important in the game anymore, as sad as it sounds. And all of them are attack, except for Seaside Bologna. It's a little bit of effectiveness, which ironically you'd probably wanted the attack on her anyway. Okay, Alencia is HP. There is no ML Alencia, and that's not that big of a deal. Ravi. What's Fire and APOC Ravi give? I feel like APOC Ravi gives something stupid like effect resistance, right? I always remember her imprint being weird. Yeah. So Ravi is HP and APOC Ravi is ER, and neither of these units are meta, so I'm just going to put her down here. Urban Shadow Shoe is HP. Am I mistaken on that? Both of the shoes are HP, right? Oh, Rat is crit. So Urban Shadow Shoe is HP, and because her nuke scales off HP, I'm going to leave her down here in the not so bad tier, in the A tier, to help you build up your Urban Shadow. Oof. This is a hard list. I need a chart. Blood Moon Haste is HP, if I'm not mistaken, and regular Haste is effectiveness. Did I guess right? Oh, Fire Ravi's defense self? My bad. Yeah, how wasteful, right? Hey, Joe, use Use this page to feed me the info. It'll make it a lot easier to find the imprints. Had to answer the door. Joe left me hanging. Haste. I'm assuming effectiveness for haste and HP for Blood Moon haste, right? Okay, so HP for Blood Moon haste is nice, but hey, I steal light. Thank you for the sub, buddy. I appreciate the prime. Thank you so much. Okay, so haste is effectiveness for himself and HP for Blood Moon haste, and the HP for Blood Moon haste is nice, but it's not that huge of a boost. Eligos can only imprint himself and only and it is crit, which is great, but Eligos isn't a meta unit. I'm gonna put him at the front of A tier because crit imprint is really, really nice. But until there's an ML Eligos, there's not a lot of places you can go with it. Kayron, so we've got Fire Kayron and we've got Twisted Eidolon Kayron. So I'm assuming attack for both. Oh, Kayron is crit and ML Kayron is crit, but ML is used for HP teams. Okay, so we got a crit imprint, the strongest imprint out there for both these units, but ML Kayron doesn't care so much about the crit. He's usually running lots of HP, and Fire Kayron is just anti-cleave, and the crit's nice but not required. I'm just putting him down in A tier just because though the imprint is beautiful, I don't think it's huge. I don't think it's that important to your game. Melissa, and we only have one kind, and I'm pretty sure she's attack. So Melissa isn't that important. Abigail, and we only have one Abigail. I'm assuming Abigail is, oh, Abigail's crit. So Abigail is crit. I'm going to put her, if you're going to build an Abigail, sure. That's a nice strong imprint. Lilibet and Designer Lilibet. Designer Lilibet is defense, and Earth Lilibet is crit or attack? I had it backwards. Green Lilibet is attack. Designer Lilibet is crit. Interesting. Designer Lilibet's out of the meta. Green Lilibet, it's only attack. I'm going to put, I don't know. I guess you're trying to build a Designer Lilibet. The crit imprint is nice. We'll leave her up here. Zahak. Zahak's imprint is attack and is not that important. Green Violet and Remnant Violet, neither of them are very usable, although Remnant Violet does have crit as an imprint. He's barely used, and Violet, his attack imprint. Look, I mean, when those units get buffed and they're more important, then I'll be more excited about the crit imprint on Violet. Euphine, you fine. So regular Euphine is crit, and Trauma Euphine, Abyssal Euphine is defense. Because Abyssal Euphine's defense has a threshold. If you are not above 2000 defense, part of her kit doesn't work. It suddenly makes the imprint actually, viable and important. So I'm going to leave her here under the strong one because you kind of got to have the defense or she just doesn't work. Tywin and Ambitious Tywin, both of them are HP boosting and neither of them are very good anymore. So I'm just going to put them both down here. Tehu Asked and also his ML version, Successor Tehu, are both attack based and they're both very strong and they both are only attack imprints, and I'm not a huge fan of attack or HP imprints if you haven't figured that out by now. Aramintha. Aramintha is effectiveness for both her and for Silverblade Aramintha. The effectiveness is very, very, very nice. If you plan on running SBA, you can't go wrong with effectiveness imprints for your regular SBA. Brigida, nobody cares what her imprint is because she's not a real unit and there's nobody that you can put her imprints into. Whew. Give Joe a chance to catch up here. He was busy looking up Aramintha and or busy looking up Brigida, and he was like, damn it, he just said screw Brigida. Okay, so Dragon King Sharoon and regular Sharoon are both effectiveness. Dragon King Sharoon's stocks have plummeted quite a bit, and Sharoon Fire or Earth Sharoon is not a real unit because Schneel exists. Even though effectiveness is a very, very strong imprint, I'm rating them low because they're not very good usable units right now. Says is crit chance, and that would be great in a world where young Senya and Mort don't exist. But because young Senya and Mort exist, Says is not allowed to exist. And Specimen says it's just attack, and surprisingly, it would be better if it was HP or defense, because he does not need a lot of attack to kill. I just don't see a lot of value in picking up Says dupes to make a unit that can already kill things more dead. What would Dragon King need to be great? It's just she's very, very niche. She's used in very situational things. She needs for a sleep stun meta to be back in fashion. About the only place Dragon King Sharoon is used anymore is in conjunction with Renok to give that extra damage. Green Senya, you can't imprint young Senya with Green Senya. A reactionary unit. She's reactionary unless you're planning on building a team around Renok, but yeah, pretty much. And most people that build teams with Renok, they don't actually even need her on the team. So Senya and Dragon Bride Senya, I'm assuming defense and HP. Oh, that's right, she's an attack scaler. Okay, Green Senya self-imprints with attack, but Green Senya is not used anymore. HP on Dragon Bride Senya, and Dragon Bride Senya used to be a top tier unit. She has fallen so hard that I'm not sure it's even worth imprinting her. You're not going to find a ton of uses for Dragon Bride Senya, so I'm just going to put her down here. I know people, I'm going to get some pushback on people say, what do you mean Dragon Bride Senya is amazing? No, she's situationally good. There's just almost always somebody better to reach for. Okay, Ray is HP and nobody cares because nobody cares about Ray except when they're going to imprint their Death Dealer Ray, and this is an easy source of effectiveness for your Death Dealer Ray, which is huge because he needs so much speed and bulk anyway. Any other place you can get effectiveness is great, so I'm going to put Ray's imprints at the top because DDR is still a menace. We do not, sadly, have an ML Ran in the game, and Ran, I believe, is just attack. So, yeah, attack on Ran, nobody cares. Para, I'm assuming Para's effectiveness. Joe's ready for somebody to do a game show on, what's this person's imprint? Okay, so Para, her self-imprint is effectiveness, which is very nice, but very few people run Para. Where you're predominantly going to run her is as an imprint into ML Para, and this just gives ML Para some HP, which is nice, but not really critical for how ML Para works. I think it's kind of a waste of an imprint. Okay, Pavel. Pavel and Commander Pavel, if I'm not mistaken, they're both attack, right? So Pavel and Commander Pavel are both attack, both let him hit harder, and both of them, it's not a huge jump up, so not a big deal. Kisei and Judge Kisei, are they both attack or is one of them crit? There you go. Kisei is attack, which is not that inspiring, but Judge Kisei is crit, and Judge Kisei, surprisingly good unit. A unit you probably want to build if you're mid to late or late to end game. Little too hard to build for early to mid game though. Because she's a crit imprint and because Judge can be used pretty well, I'm going to leave her here, but tough units to play. Kowarik, so Mediator's HP and Fire Kowarik's attack, right? Oh, ER, how weird. Fire Coeric's self-imprint is attack and nobody cares, and ML Coeric's self-imprint is ER, and it really needs to be changed because nobody gives a crap about ER on ML Coeric now that Sweet Miracle's a thing, so that's a very bad imprint. Knockwall. Knockwall's got to be effectiveness, right? Effectiveness imprint for Knockwall, it would be huge if you play Knockwall. Most people don't, so I'm putting her down here, but if you if you play her, it's a very good imprint. Just not a lot of people play her. So I'm putting it down here. Plus, you can soul burn to ignore ER, so it's kind of doubly weird. Lilius. Lilius is going to be HP and interesting. Conk is HP. Okay, so Lilius is a weird one, and she's going to be the first one I speak on this. Her self-imprint is HP. Gala Lilius' self-imprint is attack, but Gala's not used much anymore. And Conqueror Lilius' self-imprint is HP. But I'm actually going to rate her a little bit higher, not because of the self-HP for Conk Lilius, but because her AoE imprint is attack. And Conqueror Lilius is an initiator for an aggressive style of play that involves lots of attack scaling DPSs, and having that AoE attack imprint on your Conqueror Lilius is really, really nice. Or when you need to keep her alive, being able to switch her to HP. So in this case, I'm looking not at their selfish imprint, but that Lilius gives a good imprint to Conqueror Lilius for an AoE imprint. Mui is effectiveness, but Mui is a terrible unit. Even after a buff, nobody uses her. Ludwig is attack both sides, right? Her team is crit, though, but nobody uses AoE crit imprint unless they're building a PvE team. Okay, Ludwig is a crit chance imprint, and if you plan to build an ML Ludwig, he is a hard build. Speed-based DPS units are amongst the hardest units to gear and build in this game, so anything that takes some of the strain off of getting speed, attack, and crit damage all onto a unit while maintaining crit chance is welcome. So if you're deciding to build an ML Ludwig, this is a high-end one. If you're not building an ML Ludwig, then, well, I think it goes without saying that, if you're not building either of the Selines, this is a bad imprint. We're just talking about value based on how usable the units are. Fumir is effectiveness. If you are playing Fumir, effectiveness is huge. If you're not playing Fumir, then don't get her imprints, duh. Architect Leica self-imprint is effectiveness, and nobody really cares. And Architect Leica is attack, and again, nobody cares. If you are one of the handful of high-end people who are crushing with Leica, and I hear, like, way up north in the Emperor Legend range, people are making gains with command model Leica, and you appreciate the effectiveness on her, then go for it. Why are you looking at a tier list? If you're Legend, you know what the fuck you're doing. This is for people that don't know what the fuck they're doing, and those people don't have the gear to play Leica. Lidica, who at one point in time was one of the best units in the game. And then Setsuka and Lady of the Scales happened, and Lidica is dead. So, Fire Lidica is just not very playable anymore. If you are running certain Harsetti comps and you're running to run Ludica, Green Lidica, Blooming Lidica, her imprint is HP, and that does make her nuke hit harder, which is kind of nice. And if you're running Faithless Lidica, then get the hell out of 2023 and start playing the modern game, because damn, she's even worse than Fire Lidica. The HP on Ludica is huge. The effectiveness on Lidica is great. All these imprints are great, but the units themselves are just not that good anymore. I think we all know how I feel about Afternoon Soak Flan. Afternoon Soak Flan, it's attack, but Flan hits so freaking hard that I'm going to have a hard time not putting her high up just because of how powerful Flan is, and getting imprints into Flan feels so good. For herself, she gets effectiveness, but nobody uses her anymore. And for Pirate Captain Flan, it's attack, which is going to make her bombs and burns go harder, but again, not commonly used. Fenris self-imprint, I'm assuming it's attack, right? Fenris imprint is attack, and Fenris is only used in expeditions, so not very good. Urvalin imprint is crit, if I'm not mistaken, right? Urvalin is crit, but the only place you're going to use Urvalin is in Trial of the Constellations and maybe Banshee. So, you know, I wouldn't go for Urvalin's. Just gear around it for the 1 or 2 things you need them to do, and then put the gear back where it belongs. Elvira is effect resistance, and if you're going to play Elvira, you want effect resistance on her. I think it is a worthwhile one to pick. Ida. Festive Ida and Solitary of the Snow. Who is ML Ida? Solitary of the Snow is effectiveness. Fire Ida or Water Ida, it's effectiveness, and Fire Ida is what? Attack? Or is she effectiveness too? She's got to be attack, right? All 3 of them are effectiveness. Okay, so Ida in all forms, fire, water, and ML Ida, which is Solitary of the Snow, are all effectiveness, which can be nice, but you can shift them to AoE imprints, much like Conqueror Lilius, for additional damage. I think if you are building a Festive Ida, her imprint is huge. If you're building a Solitaria or a Fire Ida, it drops down here into the A range. But because Festive Ida is so heckin' strong, I'm putting her up top shelf for her effectiveness. Charlotte and Little Queen Charlotte. Charlotte is fire, Little Queen Charlotte is attack. Oh yeah, and Sharklet is attack. So Charlotte is attack for fire, attack for water, and crit chance for Little Queen Charlotte, for ML Charlotte. Little Queen Charlotte is the unit that I thought for sure would just run this game over, and she's surprisingly mediocre. I mean, when she works, but she's not as playable as I expect her to be. Let's go drop Charlotte down in here because the attack imprints are not that impressive, and the crit imprint is into a non-meta unit. Maid Chloe is... Did they change Maid Chloe? Is she still ER on herself? Okay. Chloe's attack for herself and ER for Maid. Not as important as it used to be. I'm putting it down here. Although Maid Chloe is freaking meta as all get out, the days of stacking like 200 ER on Maid Chloe are kind of gone. Now you just want enough to keep the nuisance off of her. If you want to pick up some Chloes to buff up your Maid, go for it, but I don't think it's important as some of the other units we have up top. Charles and C Loser Charles is crit chance for both of them, and that would be amazing if either of these units was in any way, shape, or form good. One is only used in As Michaelis 13 hunts, and the other is only used in Trial of the Constellation and not so much there anymore. There's a handful of Chads who run these guys in RTA, and my hat's off to you guys, but needs a buff. Fallen Cecilia and Fire Cecilia. Fallen Cecilia, it's HP, and Fire Cecilia, I believe, is defense or effectiveness. They're both HP. So Fire Cecilia and Fallen Cecilia are both HPs, and Fire Cecilia is just not that usable anymore, except in a handful of Abyss floors and one expedition that she's even replaceable there now. And Fallen Cecilia, though, is very, very, very good. And her barriers scale off her HP. And I know almost everybody that's just been a boost to HP I put down here, but Fallen Cecilia's HP is so important, I'm pushing her up a notch. Because it's not just damage from HP or making them tanky. It impacts the barriers. Her entire kit's based around it. Oh, what's Balsac and Sazan do? I'm assuming attack and effectiveness. Ball's effectiveness for both. Okay. Ball and Sazan, if you are wanting to run an effective Ball and Sazan, then having some imprints on him so his effectiveness is stacked even higher makes him great, because Ball is not an easy unit to build. I'm talking about Sage Ball and Sazan, not Fireball and Sazan. Nobody ever builds this guy except for doing some expeditions. Arunka self attack, and Boss Arunka self is defense. Okay, so Bossarunka, if you are running a damage Bossarunka, you're running a counter Bossarunka on Moas or Rocket Punch, I could see this being up here for the defense boost because your damage is tied to that. If you're running a Proof of Valor Bossarunka, you could probably get away with this not being that important. I'm only going to leave her in A because of how prevalent Bossarunka is. And getting some imprints into her just makes an already devastating unit more devastating. Because of how meta she is, she's pushed higher than I would normally push her. If you're doing the damage Bossarunka, you're doing the Rocket Punch or Moas Bossarunka, it could even slide up again. Hua Young. So Fire Hua Young's going to be attack. Bystander Hua Young's crit. And Argent Waves Hua Young is also crit, right? So Hua Young is an attack imprint. Though you can still do some things with Hua Young, it's hard to do. It's hard to build, hard to slaughter in. But Argent Waves Hua Young, Blue Hua Young, and Hot Topic Hua Young, ML Hua Young, they both are crit, making this one of the most valuable imprints in the game. Two incredibly powerful units, and it's a crit imprint for either one. I don't think there's any world where you're sad to see Hua Young pop out of a summon. Empyrean Ilanov imprints, because ain't nobody building Fire Ilanov. Fire Ilanov does get crit, which is huge, but nobody cares. Whereas Empyrean Ilanov gets HP, and Empyrean Ilanov is an HP scaling knight who you want to stay alive forever. Although I've poo-pooed on HP in the past, I'm going to put this one in the top shelf because Empyrean Ilanov is huge in usability, and someday they're gonna buff that girl and she's gonna run people over, just not today. How come Kayron rates so low? Because the imprints aren't that impactful. Joe, what were Kayron's imprints again? It was an attack imprint for, or sorry, it was a crit chance imprint for a unit that you don't really care if he crits or not. I mean, it's a nice little perk or bonus, but you're mostly just building for HP on him. And Kayron, although it's a crit imprint, how many times are you drafting Fire Kayron? He's kind of a counter pick. And he's a unit that you could even run at 85% crit chance. And he's still going to run people over because he's just going to be countering so much. He's going to be murdering people. I just don't think HP on Tekron is a team imprint, which is super nice. Yeah, it is. It's just not, I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. Basar and Desert Jewel Basar. Basar's effectiveness and Desert Jewel Basar's ER. Yeah. So Basar is effectiveness, which would be great if he was usable, and Desert Jewel Basar was effect resistance, which would be great if you cared about having a shit ton of effect resistance on Desert Jewel Basar. I just don't think it's that big of a deal. I think there are better places to spend your imprint dollar. Bihu's what? Attack for his burns? Okay, so Bihu's effectiveness, which would be really good for landing Bihu's burns, but Bihu is not a good unit, and he doesn't have anybody to imprint into, so I'm just going to leave him down here. Kane is attack, and Kane is not a good unit. Let's put him all the way at the bottom. Ken and Martial Artist Ken. Martial Artist Ken is ER, right? And Fire Ken would be HP, because he's an HP scaler. Just everybody forgets that he is, because nobody uses him. Right, it's HP and ER on Ken, am I right? Ken is ER for ML, Fire is HP. Yep. Okay, so Ken is an HP scaler. Surprise, I bet you didn't know that, because nobody uses them. And Martial Artist Ken is ER, which is nice if you're building an ER Martial Artist Ken. That's tough in this meta, and he's a hard unit to use all the way down here. Lua's effectiveness for both herself and for Hellion Lua, and neither unit is usable in the current meta. Tamarin is effectiveness? Is Tamarin effectiveness? Tamarin is HP. Okay. Tamarin is HP, which is nice to keep her alive. I think if you get extra Tamarins, you don't stick it into her because you I just heard what I said. Give me a second to compose myself. Damn. It got spicy up in here. Tamarin's self-imprint is HP, which is, you know, nice, but if you get extra Tamarins, please don't imprint her. Save your Tamarins for the inevitable release of Death Metal Tamarin. If you do imprint her, then the AoE attack imprint's nice for your PvE team, but you're not taking this girl into PvP, and when you're not taking them into PvP, you usually don't give a rat's ass about imprint. Let's be real, imprints are a PvP system. Otherwise, you just gear around it for the most part. No. Bottom row Tamarin. Vivian and ML Vivian. ML Vivian attack, and oh no, Vivian's crit for both. Okay, Vivian is crit chance for herself and ML Vivian. I'm putting it top shelf because ML Vivian is one of the hardest units in the game to build. And crit chance alleviates that pain. If you're trying to build ML Vivian, or if you're trying to build a really nice hunt team PvE Vivian, having crit imprints are really nice for either of them. So although they aren't meta in the game, they have the best imprints in the game, and it makes hard units easier to build. Thermia. Thermia is self-attack, which would be really, really nice for all of the nuns of places. You get to use Thermia. Buff the redhead, Smilegate. Do it. Stop making redheads bad. But Light Thermia. Lionheart Thermia. Lionheart Thermia, her self-imprint is crit. And that makes a hard to build unit easier to build. And I think Lionheart Thermia is in a very, very good place right now. So if you want to buff up your Lionheart Thermia, crit imprints are the way to go. Ooh, this one's spicy. This one's real spicy. Sigrid. Sigrid's self-imprint, what is attack? And Operator Sigrid self-imprint is attack. And normally I would put it down here, but check it. I'm going to chill it out in A imprint for right now because Racecar Sigrid is showing up soon. And Racecar Sigrid's a limited, and they love giving limiteds crit chance imprints. Think about it. Think of the past limited units that we've gotten and what their imprints have been. So I'm going to put her in A tier just because you may want to plan for the future and grab an imprint for Racecar Sigrid when she shows up. Briar Witch Assaria and Green Assaria. So Assaria is effectiveness, which is nice for PvE, but you can work around it. Summertime Assaria, Fire Assaria, she also is effectiveness. That helps for dropping bombs. And Briar Witch Assaria is attack for those of you wanting to do more damage with her. All these things are really nice. It's just the units are a little hard to use. I'm going to put it in the A tier because effectiveness is really, really nice on Summer Assaria for the few you Chads that still run Summertime Assaria Cleaves, and also for those of you who are wanting to build a ball busting DPS cleave Briar comp. Having that extra attack is huge. Brieg is HP and nobody cares. It's easy to build Brieg and he has no ML versions. Bomb Model Kana is attack for herself, and again, nobody cares because you don't play this unit anywhere. And Yuna is attack, and I'm sure one of you cares, but I don't. So down here you go. So there you go, guys. If you're looking to pick for imprints, these are imprints that impact units who are really, really good in the meta or have really strong imprints or some combination of both. This is a very subjective tier list. You may be like, what do you mean? Who the hell runs Hua Young? Well, you have to actually listen to the whole thing. For those of you who jump to the end to just hear, just to see the entire tier list, I hope you're listening to this part. I didn't put all of the MLs in here because it would be cluttered and bloated and we'd be here for hours. This means Hua Young's imprint is good onto somebody. Yeah, her imprint sucks. But crit chance for Blue Hua Young, crit chance for Bystander Hua Young, you best go back and listen to each one to understand why I've put the units where they are. But hopefully if you have got every single unit in the game already from the selector and you're just looking to who to pick for imprints, hopefully this helps you guys out. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. If you want to tell me how wrong I am about something, tell me that in the comment section too. I love being told I'm wrong. Just ask my wife. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You guys have a good one. Take care, everybody. Whew. I'm tier listed out, guys. Please don't make me do any more tier lists. Beautiful list. Oh my god, I really want to do Hall of Trials today, and we didn't even have a chance to peek at it. I just disagree with Ray, Dustina, and Kayron. Fair. A tier list of Wulf's tier list. Oh my god. Tier list of best hats. I got this hat. I got this cool little bowler hat. I got this steampunk hat. I got my Mad Hatter hat, which doesn't like the green screen, and I got my can't get it up there. Get this hat, and somewhere around here there's a Viking horned helmet laying around here somewhere. I got all kinds of hats. Where'd it go? I like the bowler hat, I do, but it doesn't quite fit me. It's a little too small. It's totally squeezing my head. It's so small, it fits inside my other hat. I used to wear the Mad Hatter hat whenever I would rant at Epic 7. That was what I wore when I would get angry at Epic 7. Time to buy more hats. I should go buy more hats. All right, guys, anything else you want to see or do before we wrap it up? I've got some videos to make. Oh, shit. You know what? We did all that. Now I got to decide who I'm going to pick. Who do I want to pick? Holy crap. I don't know. We need to make a tier list of who I should pick. I think all my Huas are triple S. Okay, let's see. I could give more crit to the goat. Don't care. You know, the instant I give him an imprint, I'm pulling another one. That's why I can never give him another freaking imprint. I don't think it's worth it. No. It's okay. It's okay, but I don't think I need it. I'll put her on the short list. Can't get. Don't need. This is my other Luna. The other Luna's triple S, so I don't really need one for second Luna. Don't care. Can't get. Don't care. Oh, well, hello, gorgeous. It might be Hua Young, guys. It might be Hua Young. Don't care, can't get, don't care. It'd be nice, but it's not that big of a deal. It's only a few percent more. Doesn't need, it's only a few percent more. It could be Fire Hua, but I don't use her enough to warrant it, even though it would be a first one. My other Fene's triple S. This is my second Fene. No. I got plenty of triple S Bellions. I got plenty of triple S Harsettis. That's it, guys. And these are all 3 and 4 stars. Yeah, I think it might be Hua Young. And then I gotta decide which Hua Young to give it to, fire or blue. What do I guys think of the new thief artifact? I think it's a very, very bad artifact. I think it's got no place or use in the game at all. And I think people that pull on it are getting scammed into burning their bookmarks before Smogate drops real limiteds on us. Now, the only reason to get that artifact is because you are afraid something's going to come out in the future that's going to need that artifact. And if that's the case, and you want to be safe, then I'd recommend going over to the powder shop and snagging one from the powder shop so that you can always bottle it up later in case it happens to be meta on somebody. But it is hard to think of a thief or a kit that would be meta on this. So my advice is skip, which I didn't think I'd ever hear myself say about a limited artifact. But right now it's got no use in the game. Now, if Race Car Cigarette comes out and she's a thief and she needs that artifact to function, don't come back and at me and be like, hey, Tristen, why didn't you predict the future and tell me this artifact will be good? All I can tell you about the here and now, and in the here and now, nobody uses that artifact. The closest thing you're going to get to somebody who could use that artifact is Janua, and you're going to give up stealth for that? I don't think so. Stealth for a 40% chance you get one extra attack off? That's wild. What am I going for the decked out selector? I will probably do the same thing, right? I'll go through my list and I'll look for units that are below +10, right? Below +10, because higher than +10, it's just a little bit of Mola to finish them off, right? And when I find units that are below +10 that I feel like will benefit from, like, you know, if I cared about the last imprints on Eula, she would be a good example. So I could get a +15 Eula, and then I could use this to imprint ML Eula. So, god damn, that might be a thing. I might do that. I might. No, I really like her imprints, though. I really like her imprints. God, it's got to be somebody I don't really care about the imprints. Okay, somebody I don't, here we go. People I don't care about the imprints would be like A and under. Could make Vivian hit harder, but my other Vivian is already triple S, so that doesn't help. Already +15, don't care. I could get a +15. Ah, no, that's weird. You're already 15. You're already 15. Don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care. No. Is it weird that I might just get another Hua Young and treat it like an imprint anyway because nobody else needs the fucking Mola? It's kind of sad. I'm really like scraping the bottom of the, I guess maybe I'll get a Ball and Cezanne. I've just been through too many of these guys, too many of these fully decked out selector series that I'm just kind of out. I don't know. I'll really have to think about it. Greenest area, yeah, sure. I could do something dumb like get Yulha and then send the old Yulha into the new Yulha just to maximum. What a waste. What a waste. Flan? How does my blue Flan look? Does she have anything in her? Oh. And then stuff this into afternoon soak plan. See, the thing is, though, this is effectiveness, which matters. And my afternoon soak plans are already S imprint. So I guess the B imprint one, it wouldn't be so bad. I could triple S her, I'd only be wasting one imprint. But then they buff Flan, and I regret losing all that effectiveness. I don't know, man. I don't know. Tough call. Flaw is hot, not gonna lie. Shit, yeah. All right, guys. You guys want to go to a CZN streamer or an E7 streamer? I know you guys are jonesing for the new stuff. You aren't going to hurt my feelings. Where you want me to send you, and then I'll go get to making some videos. Let's see, we got. Oh, how about an Etheria restart streamer? That's what you want to see, right? I'll tell you what, guys. We're all going to go over and see Mr. Baka. He's playing some Chaos Zero Nightmare right now. Baka did my profile card. He can do your profile card too. In fact, this is my other profile card that he did. So if you guys would like to have a kick-ass profile card made, make sure you talk to Baka, and he'll get you squared away. What about the Summoner's War lady I'm paired with? She's live. Is she now? I'm not going to send all you guys over to Summoner's War, though. All you guys go say hi to Baka, and I will, hang on, let me start the button here. Maybe we'll catch Sarah next time. Oh! You've always wanted green Lilibet. Fun. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being cool with me being away for the weekend. I missed you all. I'll be back to streaming a little bit more regularly, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. We'll do some Holo Trials. Take care, everybody.
Yeah.